All right.
My audio was off. They only heard you for a few seconds there. Hold on. All right. Perfect. All right. It sounds okay. I guess. Let me just look at the fucking quality real quick. I'm not. In case you couldn't tell, I'm not professional at my job.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Looks like we got. Looks like we have everything set. This is fine. If it's shit, people will tell me it's shit, and I'll fix it. But how's it going, Joseph? How's life, man?
Life found a way, and we're here. I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay. We're
Yeah,
not. Hey,
yeah,
we're not talking about that one today,
yeah,
buddy. All right.
yeah. That is true.
All
Thank,
right. No.
thank goodness.
But hello everybody. Today we're here with something very different. I'm here with an interview that I've wanted to do for a little while now. We're doing the Joseph Palinkas interview. In case you don't know who Joseph Palinkas is, actually, I'm going to let him do his own introduction. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and what project you're currently working on?
Howdy, folks. I'm reading a message in chat right now. Now you sound like audio-wise. Is my audio still pretty good to everyone? Can everyone hear me?
It sounds. Somebody said it sounded okay audio wise, so I'm just gonna roll with that. And if somebody else complains, I'll just ban them. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. Yeah, bye. No, I'm kidding. All right, so I'm a walking soundboard. That's mostly what I do for a living.
Hell yeah.
No, just kidding. No, I I'm a writer by trade. A freelance writer. I've written for several newspapers in the past, and I've always had a severe interest in dinosaurs, as the majority of people watching this channel probably definitely should. If you don't, get out of here. Just kidding. Um,
I agree with him though. Get out of here if you don't. Yeah.
but and coming into the Carnosaur project, we all grew up going to the video store and seeing these VHS tapes on the shelf. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? It just creeped the hell out of me for years. And when I was 13, my dad actually let me rent out the first movie. And I'll never forget it that night because it was dark out, pitch black. So I'm like, of course. Roger Corman clearly lit outside. Um, and I'm watching this VHS tape. And after I was done, I didn't want to go near the window because I was afraid the Deinecus was going to come through and get me. So um, I'm kind of just a super fan that decided to take on this project. I thought I was solo, and I was very wrong, and I was very delighted to find out that other people have been working on uncovering Carnosaur, and it was funny. What was it? A couple months back, November? No, wait, was it September that I reached out to you?
It was either late September or early October because
Okay.
at that point I had already gotten a decent amount of my own research, and I got like even more stuff from you after you reached out. And I'm gonna be honest, you reaching out to me was completely like, because the way you reached out to me, it was lucky if I ever saw it. Like he reached out to me via a reply to one of my comments on one of my YouTube videos. I hardly look at replies. I only typically look at new comments because for some reason YouTube doesn't allow replies to be featured. If it's new comments, they'll feature it on your board, on your dashboard, but they won't show off new replies. So I don't always look at new replies. Um, so I and literally it had the margin of time. Like I looked right as you had pretty much sent that message to me in the comments. It was like maybe a few minutes, I want to say, and I responded to you saying like, "Oh yeah, you can," because you asked if there was anywhere you could contact me, and I told you, "Oh yeah, I have my business email." And then shortly after, I got an email from you, and it's
Yeah,
led to this moment.
I was totally being a boomer about it. I'm just writing on the video chat. just like hollering at the clouds, like "Hello, waiter." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, duh." And I'm like, I looked on there. I'm like, I should have just emailed them. I feel like a jackwagon. So I'm like, all right. But
It's
yeah,
not
that was
bad.
entirely coincidental. Oh wow, I cannot speak. Having a stroke, help. Don't
Dude,
help. Just
same
kidding.
though. Same. Don't worry. If you're gonna be a part of my stream, automatically you're not gonna be able to speak. You're totally fine. It happens with me all the time.
Yeah, I don't have any excuses. I'm just naturally dumb. But the thing is, that was completely by accident, and it was hilarious. I'm like, okay, maybe this was a meant to be sort of situation, really, because and I started taking this project seriously. I just wanted to know so much after I read the book in 2012,
Mhm.
and I'm like, there's just got to be more to Carnosaur. And since 2012, I've been uncovering all this stuff, and I benefited from reaching out to you too because you showed me a lot of stuff I didn't know and I didn't realize that
Yeah,
was actually
because
put out in the world.
right, because a lot of the stuff. Well, I outsourced a lot of the information from like magazines, especially and articles on it, like a lot of
Yeah.
physical media, because a lot of that stuff just isn't on the internet. So I wasn't able to find. Carnosaur was such a weird franchise for me to research because of just how little of it was on the internet, yet how big the fan base was. You'd think that, because I've researched this kind of stuff before, and there's typically like people who are really good about archiving information and media about this kind of stuff. This stuff that has like such a short-lived history in media. So I was a little bit surprised that like I couldn't find any place or any outlet or any forums or posts or sites that offered that. So I had to resort to looking all of that stuff anywhere I could find it. And I had to like I was happy to find anything Carnosaur related. The fact that I found that magazine with Carnosaur 2, the Fangoria one, that's such a cool find to me. Like it was hella cheap when I bought it. I'm not gonna lie, but like I hold that like I hold it near and dear to me because I'm like, man, this is actually really cool. Like nobody has this. Like it's rare.
Yeah, and I was gonna spend some money during this time to get all this stuff, but I was transitioning between jobs at the time, and I'm like, well, I better not just needlessly spend, especially if this book isn't gonna really make its ends meet when it's done. But eventually, I got into the mindset. I'm like, I don't care if I don't even break even. This stuff should be preserved, and I was surprised too that there wasn't a group of individuals or a huge following that of cult films that were just harboring information,
Yeah.
harboring
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff.
Well, the thing about
I'm like,
Dinosaur,
what the?
yeah, like Dinosaur Media. I mean, I don't know about you, but like the way I see it, most dinosaur media out there is like they only have cult followings. So that's why like I was surprised to see that there wasn't as much on Carnosaur online as I would expect there be. And then like there's like a lot of like misconceptions out there too and everything. We'll talk about all that soon,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a big push for the book as well, is the misconception. I want people, I don't care if you do or don't like the films, I mean, kudos if you like them, kudos if you don't, but there's just calling it Jurassic Park knockoff and all this other stuff, like all these things that never happened behind the scenes or that did, it's just I want people to have the clear-cut facts before they make like in it some sort of statement for it, like just flat out saying, "Oh, this is just a shitty dinosaur movie," and I'm like, did we
Yeah.
see the same film?
Right. No, no, you're totally right because I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of those people who are like who you just showed me Carnosaur and I'd just be like, "Oh, it's just that one shit franchise that like was capitalizing off of Jurassic Park." And that was even before I even watched the damn thing, like fully sat down and watched it. Like I remember bits and parts of it from when I was younger, but I had forgotten a lot about it. But since doing all that research and reading the book and just looking at the history, it definitely gave me like this newfound appreciation for the franchise. So
Yeah.
And I hope that people can find that same exact appreciation through your book. So, because it would be cool. It would be
I
very
hope
cool.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So I think you already answered the question, but I'm gonna ask it again. When did you start this project?
I started this project. I started the research phase in 2012, and then I kind of slacked off for a couple of years. But I was still kind of doing it actively,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense. Like I didn't
Kind of
take a
like on and
full break
off,
from it.
like on and
Yeah.
off kind of deal. Yeah.
And then I just had this weird motivation to really do it um at like mid 2020 because John LeMay of Bicep Books, he was making this fanzine article series, um the Lost Films fanzine, and I reached out to him like, "You ever thought about having a Carnosaur piece in there?" He's like, "Well, that'd be pretty cool, but how about you write it?" I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna let me write it?" He's like, "Yeah." So he let me put 10 pages in his article for article number 3, and it happened to be his best-selling one, I think. I mean, it has 37, 38 positive reviews, I think, or at
Mm-hmm.
least 38 reviews. So take that as you will. The other ones don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure they sold just as well, but like that seemed to be a really popular one. Um, and it was the biggest article. I mean, yeah, it was the biggest article in that fanzine. And a lot of people were really drawn to like, hey, this is actually gathering some support for Carnosaur. Because I I made the weird mistake of watching a very nihilistic film during that time when all this stuff with COVID was happening, and it was just so surreal. If you watch the first Carnosaur film, there's a virus and that. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, no,
oh wow,
I
this
get,
actually feels.
yeah, I
Yeah,
totally get what you mean by that. That's like interesting choice for to watch during COVID.
it was strangely comforting. I'm like, you know what? If I die now, I'm gonna watch one of my favorite films, and I'm gonna be happy about it. So, and I haven't seen it in years at this point. I'm like, oh, this holds up so well. This is phenomenal. So then me and my friends, we did this.
I know what you
We did
mean.
this
Yeah,
commentary. Yeah, you heard some of
yeah.
this
You
commentary. I tried to
remember?
hide.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
I
you
tried to
told me
hide
a
it
little
on
bit
the
about
internet.
it.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
some?
still out there.
Is it
It's
like? Is it
it's
like on
on
one of?
Google. Yeah.
Is it like on one of your like? Do they like just upload to like their Google Drive or just like a YouTube channel or where?
I uploaded it to Podbean, and I thought I got rid of both parts. I had to split them up because I wasn't gonna pay $2 just I was being cheap and lazy about it. But yeah. Oh my God. Yep. So that was a very hilarious commentary, which you know, it was. Uh, oh, this is live, by the
Yeah,
way.
we're doing
Kibbles in
this
chat.
live. Yeah, yeah. I'm just not reading chat because I'm focusing on trying to do my job right, which I know I'm bad at half the time when I'm doing these live streams. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm gonna play interviewer. I got my interviewing hat on. I'm gonna suck dick at it, but I'll do my
I could
best.
But no, like the thing was during that commentary, I was pretty buzzed out. I was freaking high, dude, and like you could hear it. I was so blazed, and I'm like, oh my God, it was so good. But if you could find it out there, at your own discretion,
I
it was a good time.
I want to watch it now. It sounds kind of funny.
It was just audio, so you could actually sync it up with the movie. I think we do the whole, okay, we're at the beginning credits. Press play on your DVD player or something,
Right?
something
Yeah.
stupid like that. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely
But
stupid.
yeah,
I couldn't imagine doing that. I'm just kidding. I do that all the time. Anyways, but
but
yeah.
since I point, oh, sorry, I
No,
was
no, no.
finishing
Yeah, no.
the
Go ahead.
question.
Yeah.
I went on like 2 tangents to avoid answering your question, by the way. So,
Well, I'm glad you're honest about it.
yeah, yeah. I'm reading some of these comments and I'm trying not to look at them because they're making me laugh really hard. But yeah. So chat's great. Chat's great. You guys are great.
Yeah,
But no,
definitely, definitely.
yeah. So back to the research stuff. I saw press kits on eBay. And I'm like,
Oh
wait a minute, wasn't there a
yeah.
Carnosaur script on here? And I went to go find it. I'm like, it's still $300. I got so excited. I went there and I'm like, oh, it was sold in 2018. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like,
I
shit.
know. That's.
And
I almost want to like.
that would have been so good.
I just want to make a video being like, hey, whoever has this, like, I'm assuming you like Carnosaur to some extent. You spent $300 on a script. Surely you're going to be watching like Carnosaur videos on YouTube, right? I mean, like, why don't you tell us what's in that script?
I mean, sure, do it. Like, I'll offer to even pay to have it shipped or to buy
Yeah,
it outright completely or even have the pages scanned. I don't give a shit. I'll pay for that. I'm not going to give you like a grand or anything or even $500, but $300 just to have the pages scanned. Come on. You're not losing anything. And you still have the original script.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
literally for the damn book, but the
yeah.
thing is if I would have had that, oh, that would have made the book I mean, not that it's already less valuable. I think the book as it stands right now is actually quite phenomenal and it surprised a lot of people. Like my editors really surprised at the quality, which is good. Um, John LeMay is pretty happy with it and very proud of it. So, but that would have made the book just it would have gave a lot more context to how many changes Carnosaur actually went through before it became the Foreman product, as I'm going to put it.
Right, yeah,
For better or worse. I happen to really love the movie, but that's just me.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, you definitely put in a lot of work for this book. I was impressed when you came to me and told me that you managed to secure interviews with certain people that
Yeah,
that contained so much good information that for my like I was like, oh my god, I have to use this for my own project. Is that okay? Like there was a point where we were exchanging research a lot, and that's actually kind of one of my questions. I was actually going to ask you, like, what was the process of like getting these different um, interviews? Because you got one with Jim Wynorski, you got one more recently with other people. I'll let you, I'll let you tell them. What interviews did you end
all
up
right.
getting?
Yeah, so the first interview I did, it was the same process as I contacted you. I sent out emails. I even went on social media and I'm like, "Oh, hey, you want to do an interview?" Like I didn't say it like that, but I'm like, "Okay, it was that easy." Um, Actually, no, the first person I contacted was actually Adam Simon, and he added me on Facebook. He was really, really ecstatic and happy
That's
that I'm
awesome.
writing this book about Carnosaur. Really
That's
supportive,
awesome.
but he's just such a busy guy, even to this day, I haven't been able to secure any time, and I did tell him I pilfered throughout a lot of your interviews and, fanzines and articles and stuff like that. I think I got what I need, but if you still got stuff, just some script questions, yeah, I'd love to know it. Um, then the next guy, actually Ted Haynes, I interviewed him, and it was an interesting process. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, I remember listening to that interview specifically, and there was just like so many good bits of it because it was specifically on Carnosaur 2. Now, if people don't know this, Carnosaur 2 is my favorite Carnosaur film. And learning anything that has to do with Carnosaur 2 cuz it feels rare to see anything that's like regarding Carnosaur. So to see something that's about Carnosaur 2, that's just awesome. So when he gave out information regarding the development for Carnosaur 2, I was like ecstatic. I was so happy. So that to me that one was a very valuable one. I like that one. That was a really cool one.
yeah, that was a good secure, and it was a lot more information that he put out there before. It's all in the book. So that'd be nice to look forward to. Let's see the other people I interviewed. I actually interviewed a couple of actors from the films. Now, I say Carnosaur 1 has a decent amount of information available for it, but as far as the sequels go, it's just literally nothing. Um,
Yeah.
Nobody talked about these films. No one, it seems like nobody gave a shit about these films, but they're still serviceable. Like the first two Carnosaur films, at least are highly regarded, in the dinosaur fandom and by fans. But I mean, I like the third one. You know, it's not as great as I remembered, but there's some fun parts in it. And I even secured an interview with Scott Valentine, the lead from Carnosaur 3, and
Yeah, Scott Valentine was so
Ryan.
funny to me in in
Oh,
Carnosaur 3. He just okay.
it-
You know you know The Office, right? You know the memes of The Office, right? I think I told you this before. You know how the prison Mike face, uh, the one that Steve Carell
you
makes in The
know.
Office. That's the one that
Oh, okay,
Scott.
yeah,
That's the one that Scott Valentine was making throughout that entire fucking movie.
yeah, yeah. Literally, he just owned it too. That's the thing. Like he just. That's the thing about these films too, is like they don't take into the account of some of the actors that they hold their parts really well, you know, and
Mhm.
I think Scott did a great job. You know, I was in the army and I met one of the sergeants was almost legitimately like him. So I
Oh
naturally
yeah.
I warmed up to him more. I'm like, you remind me of somebody. But no, talking to Scott was great actually. I'm like, wow, I was watching this guy in one of my favorite films. You know, it's just crazy. And he was such a great, genuine guy. I was really happy to work with him. He had a lot of great, funny, and just genuine stories to share that are featured in the book, and they're just very. It was very great, you know, very nice guy. He's a brother, you know, just a very awesome guy. And then for Carnosaur 2, actually, we got a little bit more information from Scott Woodward and some more.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
I
that's
guess more of
right.
an open description of Donald. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher his name. Oh, that the guy that was brought on the first film by Beekler to authenticate the dinosaurs, Donald Glout.
Oh,
I'm
Donald
slaying his
Glute.
name.
Donald Glute, I think.
Glout.
I think that's
Glout.
how I pronounce it. Pretty sure it's Glute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Donald Glout. You know, he
Donald
gave
Glute,
me
yeah.
more clarification on his time on the first Carnosaur, so that's in the book as well.
Oh, you got in touch
And
with Don Glute? That's awesome. I didn't even know that.
yep, yep. And then Ryan Thomas Johnson. I think I said his name right. Oops. If he's watching this right now, sorry, I'm stupid. But I should just be looking at my notes for this, but I'm just, yeah, you know, I'm good.
We're having a
Um,
conversation. It's not too serious. We're
yeah,
just chatting about
right.
Carnosaur.
That was a great, yeah, no, that was a great interview too. Also a very nice, genuine guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, very fun to get along with. Same like Scott, you know, he's a really great guy. Had a lot of funny stories. Like there's some great stuff in there that made me laugh. We were just laughing our asses off at all the stuff he was saying in there. It's great stuff. It's a nice long interview with that one.
Mhm.
I was pretty grateful. That was an hour and a half interview. Um, Probably the longest one yet. And
Mhm.
then Jim Wynorski, that was also quite hilarious. I was laughing at a lot of things he was telling me, which is which is also not really recycled information, but he told me some stuff that wasn't in like the Raptor DVD commentary, which
Right.
was nice. So if the folks who've actually watched that commentary, heard that commentary, there's some repeat information in there, but there's also some new information, you know.
This stuff's not
But
like
this,
easily accessible anymore. So like even if there's like repeat
right.
information, like it's totally. I think it's totally warranted to include anything you can, even if it's already been
Oh
repeated in
yeah,
other
no,
formats.
I definitely agree. All this stuff really, like a lot of people just don't know the bare basics
Hmm.
of the history of Carnosaur, you know, and none of them really. I don't think they're motivated enough to find out because there's just this disdain against the series. Like, hey, it's the shitty dinosaur movies, you know. And I've seen a lot of terrible movies in my lifetime, and the Carnosaur films don't even come close.
Nah,
You
they
know,
don't. Not at
our,
all. There's some shitters out there, man. They're bad.
yeah, yeah, they're. I'm like, wow, and this is and people hate Carnosaur. Okay, you know, I'm just like, you guys
Nah.
have not seen a bad movie, but I mean, if somebody doesn't like it, I'm not gonna make them feel bad about their decision. But if they're the kind of people that are gonna tell me they like Jurassic World Dominion, don't talk to me. But nah, I'm not gonna be a gatekeeper.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that. But
But yeah.
yeah. Actually, what? Which one is your? I feel like you told me all of this, but just for the stream's sake, I guess. Um, what was your favorite Carnosaur movie? I already told you mine. Mine's Carnosaur 2, but I forget yours. But is it
And
just?
so when me and you first started talking, I did say Carnosaur 2. Um,
Oh
because that was the
yeah.
one I was watching the most for a while, like the past year or so. I watched it on repeat
Mm-hmm.
quite often. Well, like
Yeah.
once a month,
Yeah.
probably twice a month. It's just such an entertaining film, and I actually prefer it over Aliens. I'm not a big Aliens fan. I like the first movie, and that's about it. But
Right.
actually, I kind of like Alien 3. I'm one of those weirdos.
I liked all four. I
But
liked all four of them, to be honest. Like the
the
four
fourth one's
originals.
hilarious. Like it's just good popcorn.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just good popcorn
I
flicks.
liked all four of them. Like I could
Um,
sit down and watch all four of them and be completely satisfied with them. Don't get me wrong. The first two are definitely my favorite, but I'm
yeah.
not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, 3 and 4 are like unwatchable. I'm never gonna watch them again. I hate them.
Oh no,
No, I don't.
no, they're super watchable.
No,
They are super
I
watchable.
think they're entertaining. I think they were,
Yeah,
they didn't have me bored at all. This, yeah.
yeah. That's the way I felt about Aliens. Like Aliens had me bored. It's fine for what it is.
Hmm.
But Carnosaur 2, I think, just does it a little bit better. It's a streamlined experience. And
Right.
plus, it's dinosaurs. I mean, the xenomorphs are awesome, but I mean, these are dinosaurs. It's literally Dino Crisis. But
Yeah, exactly. Like it's aliens but with dinosaurs. Like if I because I watched Aliens when I was a kid and I really liked it. I just thought like, holy shit, you're telling me that this entire time there's a dinosaur equivalent of this movie and I never fucking knew about it? To be fair,
right?
it was kind of my fault for just being a dumb little kid being like, "Oh, it's Carnosaur, haha, shitty film." Let's where's Jurassic Park? That's kind of like how I was when I was younger.
No,
Really,
you're good. Like
yeah.
I did when I was saying that earlier, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad or
No, no,
anything
no.
like
Of
that.
course not. Of course not. But like, I like memeing on it because it's funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, like I still love the memes about it, and even Ryan Thomas Johnson, he noticed like in the community, there's people meme about it and stuff. And he actually laughs about it because he acknowledged it's pretty funny. Um, I think Ted Haynes said something like that too.
Mhm.
But I'm like, no, you should love your raptor. That raptor's pretty awesome. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
as far as my favorite, the first one will always just there's just always something that I find new in it that I just pick apart and enjoy much more. Like
Mhm.
it's such a creepy movie. I've never watched a movie to where when the film starts, you just feel the dread slowly pull you and make you feel more vulnerable and human, as the movie goes on.
Mhm.
You know, it's very nihilistic, the way it's just gritty storytelling, a lot of visual storytelling and the way it's presented and the actors and the way it starts off, and the score alone. I think the score was just dreadful. Like it's a
I
great score, but it made me feel
loved
dreadful,
the score. I love the score. I'm gonna be honest. I have a playlist on YouTube, uh, and it's just full of music that I listen to while I'm like editing audio or editing videos for the channel.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I do the
Um,
same thing when I'm writing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and literally, Carnosaur, the main theme, is in that playlist because I love it so goddamn much.
Yeah, I have both Carnosaur 1 and 2 in there. The third film had some decent music, but like it was just very Counter Strikey.
Hmm.
I like the third film still, but as far as my favorite, it's just Carnosaur. I feel like that one sticks out the most. It's one that had the most impact on me from the get go.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you're gonna watch any of these films, at least give the first two a chance because they're polar opposites of one another. They really are. One direction is just straight
Hmm.
horror, the next direction it's action horror.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I used to shit on part three a lot because I think I already told you this, but part three, like when I first when I watched these films for my video, I watched like each of them like 5 or 6 times. Um, but part three was the hardest one to get through for me because I kept like for like the first 4 times I kept falling asleep on it because it's kind of boring to me. I don't know. It's kind of hard coming off of like the action packed sequel of part 2 and then going to part 3 where like not really anything happens by comparison. Like just in I guess in my opinion, I don't know. Maybe I just don't like the pace of the action of the
No,
jet. You know.
I totally agree. Like, once you brought it up and I watched it again, I'm like, you know what? He's right. He's right.
No,
And he's not
I
wrong.
didn't
He's
mean to.
right.
I didn't mean to get you to
No,
dislike
no,
it. No,
no.
I'm just kidding.
I think Rick Dean just elevated the movie so much for me, and Scott Valentine. Like those two really elevated the film for me, and I was just happy to see more Carnosaurs because I really love those designs.
Yeah.
I'm sad that Deinecke never made a return. And the Carnosaur media that is, but
Hmm.
you know. When they changed the roars, did you know the Tyrannosaurus has 3 different roars across all 3 films?
Like only 3. Like they've only used three
Yeah,
different
like
roars in the entirety
yeah,
of.
in the first one it was like an outwardly alien, not like alien like
Yeah,
from
I,
space,
I,
like
I.
alien like strange
Now that you're bring
howl from a
now,
bird,
yeah. Now that
you
you're
know.
bringing it, yeah, they definitely did like more bird-like sounds, which I actually kind of thought was interesting. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, it was great. I
Yeah,
loved it. It
I
made my bones chill. Like it chilled the
yeah.
hell out of me. I'm like, oh Jesus, I don't want to run. I just didn't want to look outside in pitch black, at my screen door. I'm afraid one of those things is gonna holler at me and get me.
Hmm.
But in Carnosaur 2, it was just kind of the generic uh Bowser classic dinosaur stock sound that they used from early dinosaur films, like with the dinosaurs that they super glued the fins on. You made a video about it,
Oh, the
and I love that
Slurposaurs.
video, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Yeah, the slurper. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You know, and then the third one is just kind of like
yeah.
like it's whining or something, and like it's still serviceable, but you lost its touch with I think the first dinosaur. I mean, the Carnosaur sounds.
Hmm.
At least the Raptors had the awesome clicking and like weird, a wiry screech. I don't know. Like it was just unnerving. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm reading the comments. Very unnerving. That's what I like about these Carnosaurs. They're not like other dinosaurs in media. Jurassic Park can shit out all these CGI models and stuff that look fine and cool, but they don't have the impact. They really don't. They're neat, you know, but you're looking at physical effects versus CGI. You're already losing like 10 points. You know, you could even
Right.
compare the first Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, and like everyone wants to see the dinosaurs from the
Yeah.
first film
Well, I totally
because
believe
they're
that like CG effects can look really good. It's just that nowadays, especially,
yeah,
like I don't know what it is. Like studios don't like they don't want to pay their team, and they're always rushing them.
yeah,
Like that's what I hear all the
yep,
time in the news. Is like, oh, this big budget movie looks like shit because apparently the effects team were rushed, and it's like, God, well, shit. I mean, no wonder it looks like shit. It's like, and you feel bad because it's like you feel bad for them because they have to look at that and be like, well, we did a shitty job, And don't get me wrong, I totally prefer practical effects over CG as well. I think there's a certain charm to it. Like like even
yeah,
then, it's it can totally look fake, but at the same time, you just like the
yeah,
work that goes into it. You like the process of it. It's very hands on. I don't know. There's just something about it. Like when I saw the behind the scenes for the Carnosaur films, that was really cool. Just to go through the whole
yeah,
process of how they built those animatronics, and I was like, that's so cool. But that being said,
yeah.
I,
For
I
like nothing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. For like no money. But that being said, I still think CG can look good. It's just a matter of who you're giving it to and how hard they're working on it. It's just yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess I'm just being too nitpicky. Like I'm just one of those gatekeepers that are always gonna, practical effects are the most effective. I feel like CGI. I'll still watch movies with them. I'll still appreciate it. I appreciate the art, but
Hmm.
I like CGI when it's stuff that can be done that you can't do physically. And mostly, it just CGI takes me out of the movie. You know, and it's sad because you should be fully invested in the movie. You know, as hokey as some moments in Carnosaur could be. Like I think the first Carnosaur doesn't have really a lick of hokey until the scene where you see the Tyrannosaur walking down the street. I thought that was a little hokey. They probably should have just cut that out. I'm like,
I like that
eh.
scene though. That was funny. It just
I
looked
do love
funny.
the scene. It's funny. It's silly, but I'm like, all right, well,
Mhm.
all right. You're not really helping my defense here.
I'm
But
noticing. I'm noticing. Anthony in the comment, he said they mentioned that Godzilla minus one was done on a low budget. I mean, in comparison to like
yeah.
uh, like like how like AAA movies are supposed to be, like the budget, the standard of budget they're supposed to be at, and it's true. Like I think they were working with like less than $15 million for Godzilla minus
Well,
one, and
yeah, actually, the director came out and said it wasn't 15 million. I can't remember what the. It was much more than that, actually,
oh,
but
it
I can't remember
was.
the exact numbers. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
thought.
It's just a narrative that's been spreading
Oh,
on
okay.
on social
Because
media for a while. It's
maybe
okay.
I fell for something because I thought I saw like an interview where he was asked that question, and the director responds like, well, he was asked, did you is it true that the movie was 15 million? And the director just laughed and was like, oh, I wish it was that much. So I just thought, oh, they were
Yeah.
working with less. So I mean, I'm not sure then. If that's the case, then maybe I just saw like a hoax article. Then I don't know, but
But you know, the thing is that he does have a point, though. Anthony, Anthony has a point, I should say. Um, you know, minus one was the only film I saw last year. I can't say it was the best film I saw because I didn't see other films,
mhm,
but it's the only one I was interested to see. I thought it was pretty good. I might watch it again.
mhm.
Because I love Godzilla films. It was a solid film. It's probably the best one that I've seen since like 2003's uh, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla Part Two
Mm-hmm.
from the Millennium era. I forget what that one was called. Tokyo SOS. That's right, Tokyo SOS.
Oh yeah, that one.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Fun fact. One of my good friends and colleagues, Norman England, actually plays in the movie in the first like 10 minutes. He's the guy that's at the control station wearing glasses, and he's like, fire missiles or something like that. I don't know. There's just a little part. But he was on the behind the scenes of those Japanese films. So he has a book about it too, which I could post that later in the chat if anyone's interested. I just did a plug by.
I mean, no, that's totally fine, man. Plug whatever you want. It's um,
No, it's a great book. It's a
yeah.
great book, but
I want to get that book.
you
That book
know,
looks interesting. Yeah.
I can get. I'll hook you up.
Hell
But
yeah, yeah, I love that.
yeah, yeah,
All
I'll hook you up.
right.
Hook you up. Even if I pay for it myself, I'll hook you up. So. But it's a great book. I want people to see it. You know, I want people to see it. It's fantastic. But
Yeah.
you know, back to the practical effects stuff. I think that's where we left off before I went on this fucking tangent.
We're always
You
going
know.
off on tangents, yeah. That's kind
Oh
of the
yeah, oh
norm.
yeah, but the budgets, yeah. So the thing is about the current state of Hollywood is that we all know it's absolute garbage. It's just complete garbage. Um, you may not agree with that. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it's not good. The writing's terrible. It's just garbage. It's just whatever society wants to throw out there as a lame message, and it just doesn't hold any water.
Mhm.
Like even the last Jurassic World movie, as much as I appreciated their efforts and the CGI and stuff, the dinosaurs were just predictable. Like okay, but they're mostly just like these iconic superheroes almost. Like, oh, if I
Yeah.
put my hands up, they're not gonna bite me. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
I know
I
it's
just
so
like,
weird to see them be like, "Well, this really exists in the same universe as like Jurassic Park." It's just weird. I was definitely not a huge fan of it.
yeah, it was surreal. I was high in the theater, by the way, when I watched that, and let me let me tell you, it did not help.
I wish I was drunk when I went to go watch that. I feel like I would
I
have enjoyed
lit,
it a
I
little bit
thought
more.
I looked to my mom who I took there. I'm like, let's go see this movie, and I looked at her. I'm like, am I tripping out? Like, and I'm like, nope, that's the movie.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, but I will say minus one, you know, probably did a lot better than most of the Hollywood films in a long time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even the home side Godzilla films, which if you're a fan of those films, that that's completely fine. I don't like them, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna make people feel bad.
It's okay, guys.
I
I
don't
like
mind
them.
going.
I like Monster vs Godzilla. It's fine. I think they're okay. I mean, I like them because they're fun. You know, like I used to like that. I used to like them because they started off pretty seriously. You know, like with Godzilla 2014. I even took like Skull Island pretty seriously. I liked it,
Yeah.
despite it being a little bit more campy than 2014's Godzilla. But then over time they started getting even more campy, and it's just the same effect that Godzilla seems to always have, where like they attempt to start it seriously, but over time it just because that's what happened with the original Godzilla, where it started out
Yep.
very serious, like it had a very serious message and connotation to it, and then over time it became like this really goofy series of just like people in monster suits just punching each other, and it was entertaining and they're fun. Like they're not terrible. Like you can, and I'm sure like it's not like that black and white. It depends on what movie you watch, and it varies on the quality. But
Right.
I feel like it's just the same effect happening with MonsterVerse right now. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I mean, if you notice, like, back in the 50s and 60s, it started going that trend because what else can you do? And like those stories were really fun and interesting. Like, it's a mixed variety. To me, I felt like some of the mid 60s Godzilla films, people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't really like, anything after King Kong versus Godzilla all the way until Son of Godzilla. Like,
Right.
I feel like that's when things got really interesting. Son of Godzilla is a really cute story. You could take the monster stuff out and it'd still be interesting,
Hmm.
or Destroy All Monsters. I really love that film. I've grown to love it. I used to think it was super overrated, and it's just like Carnosaur. I sit down and watch something and see something new. And there's a lot of monster scenes in that movie. It's just spread out,
Hmm.
you know. Or even like Godzilla's Revenge. I love that movie. No, a lot of people don't like that movie, but for good reason. But what Hondo was trying to do, you know, his whole vision of that movie was great. You know, it was great. It was a really beautiful story about a latchkey kid. I grew up as a latchkey kid. Godzilla was my hero on TV. I got bullied like that. I actually had a situation like that. Not robbers, like kidnapping or anything, but I have had adults try to hurt me when I was that age. And I was in similar
Jesus.
situations all my life, and
Yeah.
it called back to that. Sorry, it's a very dark stream, kids, but
by the way, by
but
the
then
by the way, Joe, I don't mean to interrupt you, but my mod Gambit, she says you are really cool.
oh, thanks, Gambit. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate all the comments. Like again, when I say something, I'm not here to make fun of you or make you feel bad for your whatever you like and your choices and stuff like that. We all have our opinions. Please don't be offended. And if you are, I'm incredibly sorry.
if
Um,
if you're offended over an opinion, you should probably just get off the internet for a little while and you'll be fine. Um, Okay, we should. Okay, we're talking too much about Godzilla. I know. I know.
okay, yeah. All right, you know what? Enough of Godzilla.
I was like, wait,
We'll
what are
have a
we?
Godzilla
I was
stream.
like, wait, what are we doing? Right? Oh, wait, we're supposed to be talking about Carnosaur. See, guys, I told you I was good at my job.
Yeah, yeah. I'm even
uh,
better. I let you deviate.
yeah, no. What was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, I have a list of questions here. I should probably be asking you. We're not even halfway through them.
We'll come back for a Godzilla stream. There we go.
Definitely,
Just come back for the
definitely. We definitely gotta
Postpone
talk
the
about.
Carter stream.
I'm totally down. I'm totally down. To just have you on to chat about other fucking movies for a while. Just
Yeah, we
Godzilla or
should do
whatever.
that.
Yeah, no, definitely we should.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
I'm
awesome.
totally
Yeah.
down. Actually, you know what? I want to bring something up in regards to Carnosaur that I don't feel like gets brought up enough when talking about the history of Carnosaur. I want to talk about the novel, real quick.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Because you've read the novel at this point, no doubt.
Oh yeah,
Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Carnosaur novel or do you prefer the Carnosaur movie?
yeah. I think about that almost daily. I really do. I don't mean to, because I do. I'm just gonna be one of those people that are like, I'm a moderate, like I enjoy both, but
I'm
that's
exactly
not
that
true
person. I'm that
because
person a lot.
because as much as I love the novel, it is absolutely fantastic. It's completely underrated. The Jurassic World series possibly plagiarized it. Don't sue me, Universal, because I don't have an attorney right now. But I will fight you on it too if you want to go. No, just kidding. Sorry, Daddy, don't hit Mommy. But the thing is, the
Holy
thing is,
shit.
yeah, it's so
Continue.
good.
Sorry, continue.
I love the Carnosaur movie. I just love the direction Adam Simon took with it.
And you know what?
Um,
That is totally fine if you
yeah, I
prefer
just love
that
it.
over the movie. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I love the movie so much. If it wasn't for the movie, I probably would have never read the novel. You know,
Mhm.
so I love the direction Simon took with it. I love the virus subplot. I love Diane Ladd's character. I
Mhm.
love everything about the whole look of that film. I never seen a movie nail a book's atmosphere quite like that.
Mhm.
Like they're in two different locations, obviously. Like the movie's in Nevada, USA, and the book takes place in Cambridgeshire, England.
Yeah.
But there's some beats that kind of repeat each other. It just translates the carnage so well. Simon did such a phenomenal job. Segue, by the way, Simon just messaged me and said, I'm going to try to get you those questions answered by next week. Can you send me your
Yes!
email again?
Hell yeah!
Excellent! Yes! Stuff's going to
You
make it
heard
in
it
the
here,
book.
boys! Exclusive!
Yeah,
We
you
got
heard it here.
exclusive confirmation that Adam Simon is going to answer some questions. That's fucking awesome. Um,
Gambit, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. Very based and in the right place.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's really cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my preference.
Honestly, man, I think that I totally get that. In fact, I'm actually probably gonna hit these guys with an even hotter take. I prefer the book over the first movie. I prefer Carnosaur 2 over the book, though. That's my
Yeah, I
stance on
definitely can see that.
it.
Yep, I that was me before actually. I'm like, nah, the movie's. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm wrong. I lied to myself,
Yeah.
and
I don't know what it is.
I'm like, yeah, it's so good.
I have such like a soft spot for part two. I love it so much, and it's
Part
not
two's
even.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even just because like it's like it's loose, very loose connection with aliens. It's just the fact that like I don't know. I like I like the characters first of all. Like
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
love the
hate
characters.
I didn't hate any of the characters in that movie. I thought they were all great. Um,
Yeah, I that's something that the first two Carnosaur movies do well. Part three has some questionable characters, but we'll get to that.
yeah, no, totally. But like part two, I don't know. I liked the way they were talking with each other. I liked the more action packed scenes. I think it does like the B movie aesthetic very well. It recognizes what it is, and it has fun with it, and it's just a fun movie. That's my stance
Yeah,
on it.
I
Yeah.
I definitely agree. It was going back to that whole argument how competent these films are, and it holds up very well. Given the budget and everything, even without that context, I think it's just one of the most phenomenal films I've ever seen and that exists. Like when it came out, even the critics were highly praising it. But that's something I was telling Ryan during our interview, the guy who played Jesse, by the way. I didn't give that context earlier. Man, way to go, champ. These guys don't know shit
I know
because
it's like wait, do they even know who Ryan is? Like, do we disclose that at all? As
yeah.
you can see,
Oh
we're
yeah, and
really
Scott Valentine.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you can see, professional YouTuber and professional author here. We're very good at our jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. I will slowly turn into Giga Chad. Giga Chad. Fuck.
Giga
I can't even say Chad right. Yeah, we didn't say it.
Oh god, this is funny.
But this is great. Yeah. But, I was telling him, uh, that yeah, I'm like, you guys are just really competent and you guys seem to have this really fun chemistry together, you know?
Mhm.
And Ryan just like, I don't know what kind of chemistry you were hearing or seeing, but I'm glad you enjoy it, you know, and we're just laughing our asses off. No, no, man, you can't diss that. No, it's great. It's great. You know, it's good stuff. I
Absolutely.
was just being a super fan to him, but he was eating it up, you know.
Yeah.
He told some great stories.
Absolutely. Yeah. I guess directing back to the book, what was like your personal opinion on the book? I guess just like your more fleshed out opinion on it.
It's one of a kind. You know, I've read a lot of Creature on Loose books. I recently finished one a couple months ago for the second time, and not an audiobook because I'm fucking lazy. But I didn't want to wait for the book. I didn't want to wait for the book to be re-released, so getting the audiobook was faster.
I feel that.
I'm that kind of guy.
100%. I feel that. No, you're not
And
wrong for that at all.
it's called Fear by Ryan Kelly. I mean Ronald Kelly. Fuck. You know, I'm screwing Ronald Kelly.
It happens.
Great author. It was a great book about this snake-like creature, you know, killing all sorts of people in this small town. You know, it sounds like it, but it's nothing like it. It turns into this adventure, crazy story. You know, something kind of like out of Turok 2, like the Lair of the Blind Ones or something like that. You know, which if anyone's played that game, that's considered one of the worst levels. But I like that one. So fuck you. But just kidding. But you know, or if you ever wed.
I wasn't gonna say
There's
anything.
the stroke again, folks. There's the stroke. My lips dripping. Lips dripping.
I just want people to know that we've gotten in many calls with each other since we first met, like back in September or October. Right, we've gotten in many calls together. He has not messed up this much. I blame myself personally because it's as if every time someone comes within range of me, like just it doesn't matter if it's even online, they tend not to be able to speak, and
it is true.
I'm starting.
He did say, "Don't be nervous."
Yeah,
and he fucked it all up.
Yeah,
for me,
I jinxed this entire just his ability to speak on this stream. So I blame myself. I apologize. I'll send my YouTube apology sometime in the next decade. Continue. Sorry.
Well, just for context, not nervous, excitable, and I'm having a great time. Somebody did ask the question that I was fearing tonight. Okay,
I know.
so
we'll talk about it. I know which one you're. I see it too. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
thank you, Cam. I appreciate it. Sorry.
Thanks, man.
I would be honest.
Thanks, lady. They shit. my eyes are sinking into my fat head.
I didn't even realize how I was gonna do because I didn't expect that I was gonna get anything in this video, but I didn't realize I'm gonna be honest, I can't fucking speak either. I didn't know how I was gonna do fucking what's this thing called? Donations. The fucking I got money from Gambit. All right, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick just to be like, thank you, Gambit. I appreciate the $5 compensation for the strokes. You're not helping. As you can see, we're fucking we can't talk. We're working off of we are super chats. Yes, that one. Shut up, Gambit. Yeah. Thank you for the $5, by the way, but shut up. Anyways, we're sharing one brain cell right now. Okay, shut up.
Yeah, it's pretty hard because I saw that question, and we lost all of our brain cells dealing with that situation. But we'll get to that.
We will get to that. Yeah.
So before this train wreck happened, what the fuck was I talking about?
What were you talking about? Chat, help us out. Help us out, chat. We were talking about the book. We were talking about the book.
The book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your overall thoughts.
Phenomenal book. Yeah. So I read Watchers, which is another fantastic Creature on the Loose book. It's by Dean Koontz. But nothing quite hits like Carnosaur. The opening scene alone instilled a different kind of dread and fear, and just made me realize that. I mean, everyone knows that death is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I did not know we were gonna get this deep into this fucking in this interview. Holy shit! No,
I know, right? Crazy. Like give it a monologue. And shit.
It's like we all know that we're gonna have to face the inevitable event of death. It's like, holy shit, man! I didn't know I was gonna get this deep. I'm sorry. Continue.
You're good, man. I don't give a shit. But but it just made me realize that it could just come so suddenly and just so grotesque and everything. It just made me very fearful. And it just gave me a when I finished the book, it just gave me like such a weird realistic view and like on life itself and how quickly it could be ripped away by something that I mean isn't real, but like could you imagine if they were?
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing's ever made dinosaurs this interesting and deadly. I mean, you could say Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park did, you know, to a certain extent he did. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Tyrannosaur scenes alone were just absolutely horrifying. Um, the raptors were cool and stuff, and the Dilophosaurus was like the most gut wrenching scene in the book, I think.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. I remember that scene.
that
That
one just
one.
makes me squirm listening
That one
to
kind of
sometimes.
fucked. That
Like,
one kind of fucked me up, and I was also like, "Oh my god, that's so
yeah,
cool."
yeah, but Carnosaur fucked me up big time. Like I think it gets its carnage so well, and there's a lot of dark humor in there that's riddled about that I didn't pick up on until like my third or fourth read. You know,
Actually, yeah.
but
Actually, I was
it's
actually. That's
yeah.
actually another question. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead if you wanted
Oh,
to
you're
finish that
good, man.
thought.
I know it's like a 007 novel
Mm-hmm.
almost, like a 007 story, but it's way more competent. It's a brilliant thing, like
Mm-hmm.
Pascal's a brilliant character. Like there's just one see there's many scenes in this book that I was just flabbergasted how amazing they are. Um but there's a particular scene where with the plesiosaur pen and he can't really see that well in the dark while he's searching through.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes a picture at this approaching sound, to get some light. And he sees the plesiosaur rushing towards him. I thought that was just brilliant. Like using a flashlight beat, like the flash to see stuff. That's the kind of shit you did in video games, like from yesteryear. To see more shit. I'm like, I can't see anything, you know?
Right.
And you see this running at you. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was just, wow. That was a lot. So it's just brilliant, brilliantly written, completely underrated, and more people should really check it out. Like Valancourt Books has it readily available on their website, on eBay, on Amazon. If you don't have Amazon Prime, the most it's going to cost you with shipping is probably about $23. It is absolutely worth it. Or
Mm-hmm.
if you do have Prime, it's like $17. But a super chat did come up, and I rudely was talking over
No,
them.
no, you're
So
totally
if you
fine.
wanna,
This is the stream about you. I actually just put a message in saying, I'm rechanging the rules here because I'm not professional at this shit at all. All super chats
oh,
are gonna be right at the end, guys. So I'll read them at the. That way we're not like interrupting the flow of the conversation or anything. Not to say that you guys donating or anything is interrupting anything. Just give me money. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, not to be rude on any front. But it will be all of them will be right at the end. But yeah, actually, you said something earlier about like the horror elements in the Carnosaur book. It was actually going to bring me to another question that I actually wrote down, and that was like, which one do you think did the horror elements better? Did you think the novel did it better, or do you think the like in your own personal opinion, did you think the novel did it better, or did you think the movie did it better?
oh man. Um, you know, Brosnan had experience writing horror, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he wrote Slimer a year or so before, and it was a grotesque horror book, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote some horror afterwards. As well as he got the carnage done in Carnosaur, Adam Simon like knew this craft. He knew exactly what it should look like. And I think he nailed it to leave such an imprint on many fans, especially me. I'm gonna go with Adam Simon's Carnosaur. I think it was done much better
Mm-hmm. No, yeah,
and
that's
a
totally
lot
fine.
more visceral.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if that's what you think, that's what you think.
Yeah, if you like more of Adam's, I mean, not Adam Simon, You should check his work out too. But John Brosnan, Harriet M. Knight's work, Slimer is a pretty good book. Only I do have discretion with that book. There was a scene in there in particular. It's very trigger warning for sexual assault. I found
Ah,
it distasteful,
I see.
and it kind of threw me out of the book
Yeah,
for a little bit.
Brosnan.
I didn't really like it,
Yeah, Brosnan
but
definitely he definitely doesn't really have much of a filter. I've noticed just from the research that I've done with from him, like just for the video and reading Carnosaur. Maybe that's not a fair thing to say, just because the only thing I've read about him was Carnosaur. But just reading, like, just stuff about like that people had to say about him, and reading just some of what he had to say on his own, he
yeah,
definitely comes off as a guy who isn't as like he isn't as sensitive about that kind of stuff. I feel like.
right. I mean, I'm desensitized by all this kind of stuff. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen and read a lot of stuff. It's not like I get off on it or anything, but like Gambit was saying, I like Splatterpunk. I like Splatterpunk too, and Slimer and Carnosaur definitely fall in that category. I also highly recommend The Fungus, which came out a year after Carnosaur. Um, and it's a really great book. It has a lot of more of that humor in it. Or even like just off the noggin here of books I recently read that are literal splatterpunk. Um, The Cellar, the Beast House series, like that's some really screwed up, fucked up shit in it, but it's so good. It's such a fun story. Like all five stories are just fun to read back to back. Yeah, Carnosaur is technically considered a splatterpunk book because it's just a gore fest.
Yeah,
Like the way it describes everything, the way the characters are and they act, like it's just insane. It's
like
like
yeah, the
yeah,
first sequence of the book literally features a farmer getting his like insides ripped out, and his wife comes to the barn and sees like just his intestines, like he's just ripped open, his
yeah.
intestines are out, like, and Brosnan, he doesn't hold back with the descriptions. He's pretty like he paints a colorful picture of what's going on,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, Gambit. Yep, yep. If you like that kind of stuff, this book will satisfy that. It's the only book that's ever satisfied me in that department. Also, the Cellar series, it doesn't get quite that grotesque. In some ways, it does, but I like a good story. It could have gore or not. It has to have a good story, and
True, true.
Carnosaur does both. So
Yeah,
there is that. Yeah,
no, I totally
they're
agree with
all
that.
available on
Yeah.
Amazon.
I also like it like when Gore has. Well, I mean, I was gonna say I like it when Gore has a point, but I think that's also one of the upsides of Carnosaur the book is because I think like don't get me wrong, it's definitely like it can be over the top sometimes. It feels like, but I feel like there's
Oh yeah, yeah,
in comparison to other media that just kind of like that just likes gore for the sake of gore. I feel like Carnosaur definitely has more of a point to it. They want to show just how gruesome these animals are, because I think the the um, the stigma of dinosaurs for the longest time prior to those kinds of works was that like oh well dinosaurs they're children's entertainment they're because like even back way back when in like the early days of film dinosaurs were typically used for like slapstick comedy that anybody could enjoy. It was hardly ever something that was limited to like maybe an older audience because people hold them to be more family slash kid friendly rather than wanting to explore the more horror centric aspects to them, which is I'm glad that's what Carnosaur does, and I'm disappointed that it took me so long to read the book, but I'm finally glad I did, and because I enjoyed it very much too. I liked the book for that
yeah.
reason.
For a long time, it was out of print, and a lot of scalpers were holding
Yeah,
it
that's
200,
actually
300
yeah,
pop.
that's true. That's one of the reasons why it took me so long to read the book was because it's no longer around like it used to be, and we got really lucky with that 2022 re-release from
Yeah, like seemingly
what's
came out of nowhere. Valancourt.
Valancourt. Yeah, Valancourt Books. Yeah, I know when news of that came up, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, well, now I definitely got to check it out. That's actually the version I have. But yeah, really cool. Um let's see. What other questions do I have? I gotta be an interviewer again. God damn it. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Um, What's your favorite piece of Carnosaur trivia that you found out about that? And if you're not allowed to give exclusives at all, you don't have to answer this question. But if you can, if you have like a favorite exclusive piece of Carnosaur trivia that you aren't able to, that is not, you can't really find anywhere else, what is it? Go ahead and tell us.
That is a great question, actually. I'm gonna peek through my notes real quick, but I did have one off the top of my head.
Go for it. Yeah.
It was mentioned before on one of your videos. I don't think a lot of people saw it. I guess it doesn't really make it exclusive because if you go through well, you can't go through the comments now because those videos are gone. So, it's exclusive again. But
that's true. You're not wrong totally. About that.
Yeah, yeah. But so in the second film, that water treatment plant they were shooting at, near that water dam, there was a worker there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. This was actually
yeah.
not included in my video, I don't think.
Yeah, it was not.
It wasn't.
But
yeah. I like this story.
It totally should.
Sorry, I will not interrupt you. Go ahead and tell that. I like this story. Go ahead.
You're good, man. It could be informal. I don't give a piece of shit.
I'm glad you think that way because I'm not professional at this shit at all.
I mean, who cares? Like, I'm human, exactly. You're human. All right, cool.
This is a fucking YouTube live stream video thing.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's not like we're fucking Disney or something. Exactly. If I was Disney, I'd be pissed that I was not rich. Like, what the fuck? But no. But anyways, yeah. So, anywho, yeah, they were out there filming a scene with the skip loader.
Mm-hmm. This was Carnosaur 2?
It's like this Carnosaur 2, and Ryan Johnson's standing there with the second unit director of Carnosaur 2, and some other guy I can't remember. But the worker's like, "This is so cool. I just always wanted to be just somebody that just gets killed off, no name or anything, not important, just somebody to be killed in a movie." And the second unit director looks at him. He's like, "Yeah, wait here. Then I'll be right back." And a few minutes later, it comes out. He's like, "Can you be here tomorrow night?" So the guy shows up the next night, and he's that guy that gets killed when the T-Rex comes off the elevator. Like the Tyrannosaur gets on top of the elevator somehow.
Yeah, it's the one that
Yoshi style.
It's the one that gets his head ripped off, right? And then he gets like
Yep. It's the one that gets his head ripped off. It was almost like a nice retirement gift. Like, I can't. That would be so cool if that happened at my job. I just wish a dinosaur would come and eat me at my job. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel
that was just
man.
So cool. Yeah.
I like that story. That's such a sweet story. It's like the guy just wants to be in a movie and get whacked, like just die, and he got his.
It was just funny. Yeah, and the way Ryan described it, he rewrote his entry, because I made sure to get signatures and sign offs and stuff, to avoid any problems, and he made sure to have it explained properly the way it was happening, if that makes any sense. Like, the way the second unit director just kind of like froze and like looked at him like, "Are you serious?" and sort of thing. Hold on, wait, And so yeah, this is true. There's some comments in here. "Hey Joe, what's your favorite dinosaur?" from Luca. I also think about this once a month. I don't know why it's only once a month, but actually, Dr. Mifune, I'll get to your question in a minute too. Hey, it's Dr. Mifune in the house. He's great. He makes great videos. He made the best Godzilla against Mechagodzilla video I've ever seen. So go check out Dr. Mifune's YouTube and go follow him on Twitter. Or I'm gonna send a Carnosaur to your house and it's gonna eat your fucking dog. But I'm kidding.
I mean, I guess to answer Mifune's question real quick, Yeah, exactly. Favors, like connections. If you can't afford it, if you can't afford them with money, you can afford them by just knowing them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
There's a
easiest.
lot of that.
That's literally that's
There's
probably
a
the
lot of that
easiest.
for
That's
Raptor.
probably yeah. That's probably the easiest way to answer that question. But sorry, go
All
ahead.
right, so
Your favorite dinosaur?
favorite dinosaur. Carnosaur made such like an impact on me. Um, the Deinonychus, if I were just pick one off blatantly, like without thinking, but you know, as much dismay as I don't really care about bits and pieces of Jurassic Park 3, I thought the Spinosaur was pretty cool, but then I realized the Baryonyx was cooler. Like the Lost World Baryonyx before Jurassic World did its thing.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I like a good majority of them, but I think the Deinonychus probably. And my favorite reptile. Oh, I mean, how can you not love the turtle?
Okay, I like this dude. This dude's pretty lit. This dude's pretty cool. See guys, see what I'm
And
talking?
based.
See exactly based.
Yeah, based. Yeah, we don't talk about the Jurassic World, Barry.
uh,
I got some shit talk for the Jurassic World later when we get to
Hell
that.
yeah,
But
we'll definitely have
yeah,
a segment where we'll just shit talk the Jurassic World movies.
I have reasons. Okay,
Absolutely,
I don't just hate them to
absolutely.
hate them.
Actually,
Caiman lizards are awesome. So
that was actually one of my fucking questions for you. It's like, oh, what's your favorite dinosaur in general? I was actually also going to ask you what your favorite Carnosaur design was, but I think you already answered that one too.
as cool as creepy the T Rex, yeah, the fucking dinosaurs. That's generalizing right there. Yeah, they're all cool. I can't pick one. I'm an asshole. No, I'm kidding. Uh, um, as cool as the T Rex is in the Raptor, the Deinonychus really just steals the show. It's just so unique, and its color pattern. Come on, that's just so freaking awesome.
And then Ghidorah's like, "What's your favorite kaiju?"
Yeah, so I feel like there's some extortion going on in the chat. So I see that, and I actually have an Uno card, uh, Ghidorah. So what's your favorite kaiju? And I'll eat all your food if you don't say it's me. Does that work? No, fuck. God damn it. Shit, it does not work.
You know what, man?
Okay.
You tried your best. It's okay. It
I did try.
happens.
Favorite kaiju? Oh, it would be easy to say Gamera because I love giant turtles. But if we're being serious, I'm dead serious about this answer. I really love the cuttlefish from Space Amoeba. I just I can't, Gizora. I love that googly-eyed bastard so much.
That's funny.
I don't know why I like that. I can relate.
King Kong. That's my favorite. I don't even know if
That's a good one.
I don't even know if he qualifies as a kaiju. I mean, I would assume he does with his connections with
He is,
the
yeah,
franchise.
he does.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
Yeah,
Joseph. They're saying it's Jover.
Jover.
Yeah. This is
Right.
all right. This is cringe. What were we talking about? Carnosaur. That's right. Okay. Um, no, but going back to Carnosaur trivia. Actually, you know what? Is this a good time just to bring? Because like, it was like it was a talk of trivia that brought up, that was the reason why the videos are no longer
Oh yeah,
no
let's
longer a
let's get to
thing.
some questions that are popping up between our questions that you got for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So going back to the YouTube video,
So yeah,
I'll let you say your. Do you want to say your piece first, or do you want me to give more context?
I just want yeah, I'll just say something real quick. I just want to say like
Okay.
it's a stupid situation, and it really should not be that big of a fucking deal, but it is. Also, we're gonna do our best to, I guess, just respect the just us trying to be a little bit discreet about it. So just keep that in mind, I guess. Mainly talking to the audience. You can say whatever you want. I really don't. I don't care how discreet you want to be about it or not. It's up to you.
I mean,
Yeah. As far as like explaining how
for
the
the sake,
story went,
yeah.
I'm gonna let you kind of take the reins because I don't know.
All right.
Because you're in the talks with these people. I don't know how much I'm
Yeah.
allowed to say, so I'll just let you talk.
Yeah, It's gonna be bare minimum, unfortunately, because it's a legal, it's a would-be legal situation, and I used some, I gave Diego some content that I wasn't allowed to exactly give because I was under the impression from the get-go that it was good to go because it was my interview. It was writer's discretion, you know. But that being said, I was wrong, and I respected the contributor, and you know, it is what it is. But I mean, as much as it sucks because Diego's videos are the best Carnosaur videos I've seen on the internet since Brandon Tenold's Carnosaur reviews, and those are just hilarious. Um, plug, but yes, um,
Can I can
you
I
know,
can I be a little bit more specific about the situation from my point of view? Or
uh, yeah,
I'm not gonna
you're gonna
say
have to pick and choose because just don't like
I won't say any
dig
names.
too far.
I'm not gonna say any names. I'm just gonna say like I got a message
Yeah,
one
okay,
night. I was online with a friend. I got a message from you saying
yeah,
like, "Hey, so like what happened? You made like a rough draft of your book and you sent it to this unnamed person, um,
yes,
and they weren't a fan of how you wrote it, right? That's what happened."
yeah, and they were very distraught, and I could understand. He admitted later it was, well, I should say. Um,
Too late. No, I'm just
it
kidding.
was a neat. Yep, it is actually kind of too late. Um, it was a knee-jerk reaction. He was cool about it. At the time, I was just kind of like, "Wow, all right." Deplorable much? No, I'm kidding.
Well,
But
I mean, it was a stressful situation because he was like he
yeah,
was immediately hostile about it. Like he said something to the effect of like, "Oh, I don't want anything that I've told you in your book, and by
right.
extension in my video." But at that point, my video was already up. Both of them, they were already up and contained that information. Um,
Yep.
so later that night, after you got to talking with him again, I got another message basically saying, if I don't take the videos down, it could result in a lawsuit. And I was like, well, shit. I don't want a lawsuit, and I don't know how to approach this shit. And to
Yeah,
some,
like
yeah, and to
yeah,
some extent, I have to admit fault because even though I was under the impression that all that information was safe to put in my video, I still should have checked it. It just didn't hit me. I didn't think that was going to be an issue because that was
yeah,
I'm going to be honest.
and it's
This video is the first of many things for the channel. It's the first time I've ever actually like been approached with this with just having somebody on the inside, at least more inside than I am, on this kind of information. So when you gave it to me, I just didn't think twice about you know, oh, should I double check to make sure this stuff's like safe to use? And, it didn't cross my mind. The whole thing was new to me, and then when you messaged me about the whole thread about it, I was like, well, I don't know how to approach it, so I guess I'll just private the videos and figure it out
yeah.
later.
So because of uh, possible legal situation, the videos were held. So,
Yeah,
um, and they need to be re-edited, and I'm pretty sure they'll be re-uploaded at some point in the future. But that's what happened. But mostly, the blame falls mostly on me because I assumed the information was good to go from the get-go, especially since there was so much silence and draw time in from my legal stance.
mm-hmm.
It's writer's discretion. Why would you say that stuff in an interview if you don't want it repeated? Blah blah blah. That fine defense really. But I want to be respectful to the people that I could, contribute with. I don't want any ills towards people. I don't. That's my goal. It's just to release a product into the world that's not garbage. That's not made with fuel, that
Yeah,
blazed a huge fire.
yeah.
So, you could say all day and night that you should have double checked it, but I gave you as is that I should have checked.
I guess,
So,
but to be fair,
but
at the
it's
same
okay
time,
now.
at the same time, I was trying to get that video out by Halloween. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like I was putting too much pressure on it anyways. So it's like, next time I need to like, double check everything, because stuff like that definitely needs to be handled with a bit more care, especially if I want the video to be long lasting. Long lasting on YouTube before I have to fucking take it down because somebody's hitting us with a lawsuit, right?
Yeah, I would just rather not do that, obviously for obvious reasons, and like what I don't like stressful situations, and that'd be pretty stressful.
Yeah.
And this, coming out as a first book, I'm like, wow, what an experience. Wow.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
that was
Yeah.
that
I
was
felt bad. I
very
was
stressful.
like, I felt bad because you were like keeping me updated, and I was trying to be like, well, and what can we do? And I made the decision, just for the audience. I'll just tell them like I made the decision that I'm not going to get back to the videos, and don't at all see this as any pressure on your end. Whenever the book comes out, it comes out. I'm not going to release my videos. Like, I'm not going to go back to edit them and release them until after your book is released, because your book will be my reference point of what is good to add and what's not good to add. That way I'm not going back and
Yeah.
forth on, like, taking stuff out and then republicizing the videos only to find out, oh, there's more information I have to take down, and then take down the videos again and redo the whole process. That's just too much. So, because obviously you're in the talks with these guys, it's easier for you to figure out what you can and can't put in your book. So whenever you get a chance to do that, put in your book, publish your book, I can just use your book, read it, use it as a reference, and then, use it to edit whatever information I need to edit, and then upload my video. So that's what I'm going to do. In case anybody was wondering what's going to be happening with the Carnosaur videos. I'm not giving up on them. There's just going to be an unfortunate temporary delay on their can't fucking talk. I was doing so good on that tangent too.
Back to the stroke. Back to the stroke.
Back to the stroke.
Back
Man.
to the stroke.
I was doing so good,
Yep.
and then just that last word. But you guys know what I mean. Anyways, but yeah. Is there anything you wanted to?
It was that situation that gave us a stroke, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? No, you're right. I blamed that particular person for legal reasons. That's a joke. But yeah, that one. I'm not gonna lie. That situation was like needlessly stressful.
Yeah, it was a little dramatic, but yeah, that's what happened with that. I'm reading Dr. Mifune's question. I'm gonna try to figure this out like a Giga Chad now, because why not? Assuming you're both familiar with the game, if you made a Dino Crisis movie, with what reel would you assemble if Carnosaur 2 is an option? What
Real? Where is this question? It's up. I think I saw it earlier. Where is it? What reel? With what? With what team would you? Wait, what? I'm sorry, we're stupid.
Yeah, we're fucking dumb, but Stroke Tip. Hey, we're at $12 at Stroke Tips, by the way. Gambit, thank you.
What teams? I
thank you,
guess.
Ken.
What do you mean by teams, though? Like, what teams would we assemble? Like a Dinosaur Crisis? Like a team of actors or a team of dinosaurs? Like, what do you mean by that? Or wait, if Carnosaur 2 isn't an option. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't understand the question. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. put it on the himbo counter, because I don't understand the question. I'm stupid. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep. Man.
Again, we're sharing a brain
getting...
cell. Oh my god.
That's funny as hell. Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Okay, here's another question I had for you, actually, in regards to the Carnosaur franchise. Hold on. Sorry, my bad. I mean, like, what crew would you assemble to make the film? Okay, so it was what I initially thought. Will Smith. I'm just kidding.
Just slaps the T-Rex.
Yeah.
I would probably try to find the cheapest effects crew. No, I'm kidding.
The people who made Velocipaster.
They would have to be practical. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Find those people. Um, yeah, I would want it to be fully practical as much as possible.
That would be
You
cool.
know, Dino Crisis would be a phenomenal novel. I actually, for a while, was kind of working on a novelization of the Dino Crisis game because they
That's
did that
cool.
with the Resident Evil games back in the day, like
Hmm.
Stephanie Danielle, I believe.
Hmm.
No, maybe I'm screwing her name up. Stephanie Perry. I don't know, but she did such a phenomenal job translating those games to book form that I'm like, oh, somebody translated the first Resident Evil into a book. That is amazing. I'm like, Dino Crisis can have that happen, but no, that would be a game that would be very fit for a movie, but it would have to be on par with Carnosaur, if not better. And I don't know if anyone alive today could really do that, to be honest, or have an interest in doing it. I mean, especially since Capcom has long neglected Dino Crisis and rather put DRM on everything they own now instead of make something actually new and good.
Hmm. Actually, that kind of brings up something that I've been meaning to clear up the air on, because I accidentally said the wrong information in my video when they were still up. But that was like regarding the rights to Carnosaur and who still owns it. I think I said Shout Factory still owns it, but I think I'm incorrect on that, right? Like, is it it's Corman's kids, right? They still own the rights to Carnosaur. Is that the
Well,
or is there more?
yeah,
Is there more confusion with it?
it's there's way more confusion with it, unfortunately. There's not a clear answer for that because it talks about the entire film library, so 270 films. And
Right.
if you count the film library, the ones that are included, they name off some of them. So if you exclude those ones and count the rest of them, the Carnosaur movies make the cut because they're part of that number. I mean, it's just blatant assumption, really,
Hmm.
but I can imagine that's where they are.
So,
Um, they
I
were sold to Shout Factory, but
right.
then Corman's kids sued, and the thing is too, I'm pretty sure they sued mostly because Carnosaur was the biggest profit for Corman in years.
Hmm.
Like it was the most profitable franchise he's ever had. You know, so I can imagine the kids be like, "Hey, wait a minute."
Right. Well, the reason why I'm even asking that question is because I remember getting a comment on one of my videos. You were reading the comments, I believe, when the videos were
Yeah.
still up, because I saw you responding to some of them and kind of clearing up any kind of misconceptions or questions. Um, there was one person that claimed they had messaged Shout Factory, or like they emailed Shout Factory, like their one of their official accounts, I guess, to get like a little bit more answers regarding who owns the rights to Carnosaur, or like if they could do anything with Carnosaur. I guess them just shooting their shot, like bringing attention to them, like, oh hey, Carnosaur, people still want something from Carnosaur,
Yeah.
only to get a response from them saying, yeah, we don't own Carnosaur. That belongs to, and they didn't specifically say Corman's names. The comment said something about like the Pacific Trust something,
Yeah.
and that's the
Yep.
that's the account that Corman's kids own. So that's why I
Yep.
would that's why again, this is just a comment, so I don't know for sure if it's true. Um,
No, that is 100% accurate.
okay, all right.
There was this trust that was going to be gifted to his children when Roger passes away eventually.
Right, I
Um,
know that part's true. I'm just not sure if
yeah.
like I know that the trust exists. I just don't know if like them claiming that Carnosaur is owned under that trust, like the rights to it. I'm not entirely sure if that's 100% true. Because again, this came from a comment. I don't have like screenshots or proof of it. This just came from when it comes from a comment, naturally I'm just going to, no matter how accurate it sounds, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, just naturally. So I don't know for sure, but I was just wondering if you knew anything about it.
Yep. No, that's 100% accurate. I did
Okay.
find out that information and through Shout Factory. I think there was like a press release back in 2019
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
because they acquired the library in 2018. They only got to keep some films. Mostly the Roger directed ones, not really produced. Um,
Right.
so the sad thing is too, like the Watchers series, which is based off from the Watchers book by Dean Koontz. Gambit. Uh, yes. Uh, I believe was part of this trust, but they somehow managed to wiggle out Watchers 2 for a limited distributed, of Blu-ray. And it
Hmm.
looks fantastic. The print's phenomenal. I'm like, and you couldn't do that for Carnosaur, but
Exactly.
I think the
Yeah.
kids, I don't know what the deal was with their final settlement because obviously um Corman's not going to talk about it. The kids aren't going to talk about it. I wonder if the kids are going to try to give it to a distributor that's going to give them a huge capital for it, which they probably should demand, something for it because they're very valuable. I've seen a lot of people that would just kill for a 4K release. At least the first two films. I mean, I love the third film, for some of the stuff in it, but the first two, seriously, the
Hmm.
first two.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, um that's an accurate statement.
Hmm. Sorry, I'm just adding to the chaos in the comment section, but I'm listening to you too.
No, this
Uh,
comment section is is hilarity right now. They're just
Anyways,
mad because I'm the Giga Chad and they can't tell
yeah,
me right
yeah,
now.
they can't do anything. You have the position to
I
speak.
have the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, these guys are just
No,
commenters. They're just peasants. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. No, just kidding. You guys are
uh,
all great. We're absolutely dog shit without you. We're nothing without you. So thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, the Giga Chad.
Gambit, did you see the message I sent? Gambit, did you I'll just repeat it here.
Courage Lao.
Kung Lao, more like cringed Lao. I'm so fucking funny. This is so cringe. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Carnosaur. No, I'm actually glad we cleared that up. That was something that I was wondering for a bit, but now I'm glad that we got a little bit more information on that because
Yeah.
that was bugging me. I'm like, damn, I really said it was Shout Factory, but it's not. Like, there's more to it, and I didn't add that into it. And well, now the videos are gone, so haha, fuck you, all the people who corrected me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, videos are gone. They don't exist. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just, actually, what? I'm going to close the chat. See? Now the chat's closed on my end. I can't see anyone disagreeing with me.
Okay, see, I like that kind of thinking. Oh god. All right. Here's another fun question about the Carnosaur franchise. That's not really about Carnosaur. What are your overall thoughts on the spin-off films, including Dinosaur
Oh
Island,
God.
Raptor, the Eden Formula? What did you think about those ones? And because I hear you talk a lot about the first three Carnosaur, but I've always been curious, like all three of these movies. What are your overall like fleshed out thoughts on them?
So there's bits and pieces I was enjoyed about Dinosaur Island, but man, it has like a sex scene every 20 minutes or every 15 minutes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
I mean, they
nice
have to.
tits, blah blah blah.
All the guys have to get lucky at the end.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes
yeah.
sense.
I'm like, okay. What? All right, whatever. This is totally a Jim Wynorski film, That's fine. I loved seeing the T-Rex suit, even though it wasn't utilized for the first film like it was supposed to, or even any of the Carnosaur movies for that matter, which is strange. But I'm glad they didn't because it looked awful. I was glad to see the Tyrannosaur puppet back in there. I was glad to see the Deinonychus puppet back in there. So it was neat for that kind of stuff. And then was it a porno? Technically, Dinosaur Island could be like one of them Cinemax films that you like stay up
Hmm.
late at night and
Yeah,
accidentally come on. I'm like, oh shit.
absolutely. Yeah, it's
You're watching
definitely.
like Python 2, then
Yeah.
this shit comes on. So, um,
I was
It's one of
expecting,
those films.
yeah, I was expecting to hate it more, and then I watched it. I was like,
Yeah,
it's a dumb, goofy, softcore like porn film.
yeah.
The dinosaur effects aren't terrible. Like the stop motion ones weren't terrible. The way they were integrated into the movie, like it's not the worst I've seen, but it's not like
I mean, the
they're okay.
Deinecke puppet was just like
Yeah,
cringe, but
I
also
think
funny.
I think in the
So
commentary they said something like, "Oh well, Corman wanted me to put the Deinonychus in there for like, well, Corman wanted them to put the Deinonychus puppet in there, but they said that they didn't really know. I think my guess is that they didn't really know how because uh, Fred Olin Ray, he said something. I think it was him who said like, "Oh yes, so we used it for like comedic." For like a comedic effect, like we
yeah,
kind of just put it in there, like in like every now and again, just for like comedic effect, and that's real. That's it. That's all we can really do with it. And
yeah. I think it'd be a
yeah,
better film if just all the sex scenes were cut out because like
Gambit,
I just don't like watching that shit.
You haven't even seen the damn movie. You don't know for sure if it was a porno. For all we know, there's probably a censored version out there. I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
but
But
yeah,
then Raptor, right?
yeah, then Raptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I cut you off. I'm like Mimi Pirum.
I was literally about to say, man, I really own a DVD copy of Dinosaur Island.
I mean, I thought about getting one just to support the fact that people want to see Carnosaur dinosaurs. So, um, but I probably should do that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And then Raptor, a lot of people did not like it, um,
Yeah.
at all, for good reason. But I really admired the way he was able Jim Wynorski, I should say, the director. He was able
Vapor.
able he was able to pilfer scenes from all the movies and make his own narrative, which actually it kind of worked. And accidentally, I mean, he told me he never read Carnosaur.
I remember
Why
that.
would he?
Yeah.
So he accidentally made probably almost similar beat for beat of the Carnosaur novel
Mm-hmm.
as a film. Like there's a lot of sections in that movie that kind of line up with um the book's beats almost, runtime wise even. You know,
Right.
each and I'm like, all right, that's not bad. And thankfully that movie only has like one sex scene, but I'm like, all right, like of course that's got to be in there, but
Yeah. Of course. Of course. It's
you know,
the status
it's
quo for those
Wynorski.
guys. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like it's
Yeah.
normal for like I guess just a Jim Wynorski film in general.
Yeah. I mean, no offense to him. He knows what he likes. He knows what his audience like. I love his films. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
hating on it.
no, it's what Gambit said in the chat. Literally, sex
Yeah,
sells. I
sex
mean,
sells.
like obviously.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
listen, I'm a fucking human, all right? If I
to
see
be
a pretty girl and she's naked, I'm gonna be like,
okay.
doing, hello, how you doing?
Okay, let's be honest.
Like,
So Raptor wasn't that bad because with its sex
no.
scene. Because first off, yeah, it was a long sex scene. I remember
Yeah.
there was people telling me that there was a version of the DVD that had an extended version of the sex scene that apparently lasted 7 to 8 minutes. I could be wrong about that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Um,
It was a long time.
yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
they decided to take it for that long, but okay. But then
The thing is,
in certain DVD releases, it's like it's cut out. So depending on which version you're watching, it's not that bad. Like my
Yeah.
version. If you're
Yeah.
watching like the extended version, don't get me wrong. Just prepare for 8 fucking extra minutes of just what's her name? What's the actress's name?
Oh God,
Larissa
McComas.
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 Yeah, just expect her tits just to be in the air for like 7 or 8 minutes. Dinosaur Island was so much worse though. Like even with that 7 to 8 minute sex scene, like Dinosaur Island was a lot worse in my opinion.
Yeah, that is true because like, okay, so Dinosaur Island had prettier women in it and nicer tits. They weren't fake. In Raptor, a less pretty girl, fake tits. And it wasn't new sex scenes. It was the same sex scene,
I was
slowed down. then repeated and repeated and repeated between
Yeah.
scenes of the raptor coming up on the cop or
Hmm.
something. Like it was a long time.
Right.
Like a really, I'm like, was this necessary? Like you didn't film any new scenes. Like you couldn't just like bend her over or
Oh, of
something,
course
or
not. Why
you
would
get
they
on
do that? Why would
like,
they do
no,
that?
don't change positions. Just have her scrape up her knees on this shitty
Man,
truck.
none of the dinosaur stuff there is original. Why would they? Why would they put in that much work in a sex scene?
Yeah, I mean, out of all the things that he could do well, that was in his power, he had a woman and a man there that could totally do the scene.
I think.
Gambit
Well,
is dying tonight. I'm sorry.
to be fair, he said because he said that he had what 10 days to record, right?
Yeah, he did have
And
10 days, so he had to get that shit out the
that
door.
was original footage. So my guess is that maybe he needed to extend a scene, or like maybe he did it just in case he needed to extend a scene. So he's like, okay, well we'll prolong this sex scene because sex sells anyways. So let's just do
Yeah.
that in case we need extra footage. That's my guess at least. He couldn't afford the coochie.
I mean, the, there's some funny stories about that chick in the book.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
it's some
funny.
it's some great. It's a very hilarious, and Wynorski was uh he accepted the fact that I wanted it in the book, and all he said was, uh, Larissa McComas is dead. She can't sue me. And I
Oh
just laughed.
wow, wow!
I'm
I forgot about that. Oh wow, that's Loki.
like,
That's
Stewie missed everything. Why'd you leave?
that's a little fucked up, but I mean, like
No,
that's just kind of his general attitude of things, though. Like I've noticed that just from the interview.
I
Uh,
appreciate his honesty, and it's just great. He's
God, he's
he's
just
he's a pretty cool guy, though.
he's a very
I mean,
he do be a very blunt individual. Like
yeah,
he really is.
yeah. Larissa was something else, and the book goes into that a little bit more. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh shit! Almost fell out of my chair.
The stream's getting too lit, guys. It's getting too lit.
Too lit. I'm rocking my chair. I'm gonna fall off.
Um, so I guess so for Raptor then, um, is there anything for you that's like salvageable in that movie?
Yeah, I
That
mean,
can be
like,
good for you, or like do you just think
yeah,
it's
I
garbage?
think it's entertaining. I think if people don't want to watch all three Carnosaur movies in one go, it's kind of a decent. I say this with caution, and maybe people are saying blasphemy right now, but it's kind of like a really nice little fun uh, speed run of those films, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And
Ah, I see what
I
you.
do say that
No,
with
you're
caution.
right.
I
You're
do,
you're
yeah.
kind of right about that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
More like a not so direct remake of the first one, just with more stuff. It's more of like a remake of the first movie, but with extra stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Um, but I mean, I like the Dr. Hyde character as awesome as Diane Ladd was. Dr. Hyde, Corbin Burnson's character was phenomenal. I like how this facility was structured and everything, and it was just set up really well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Dr. Mifune is exactly right about that comment. That could not staple it much more. And the thing is, all those films, I actually love all those films. So I mean, I like all those films. I
No,
don't love
yeah.
Raptor. I don't love Super Monster, but I love Godzilla's Revenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fun fact: Raptor was actually my introduction to
Raptor,
the.
no.
Yeah, Craptor. That's what they called it on set, apparently.
Yeah.
No, but like Raptor, or I guess Craptor, was my introduction to the Carnosaur franchise. I watched
That's
Raptor.
wild. I didn't
Yeah,
know that. That's
Raptor
awesome.
was okay. I was really confused as a kid because I remember watching
Oh God.
I remember
Yep.
watching like the Raptor movie, and
Yeah.
then I saw a trailer for a different dinosaur movie years later. This other dinosaur movie was called Carnosaur. It featured scenes that I remembered from Raptor, and I just remember sitting there and being like, "Why?"
What?
Yeah, I was like so confused. I'm like, "Wait, what? Is this just?" Like these aren't the same movie, but they have scenes that it didn't click with me right away. That I just didn't have the critical thinking to be like, oh, they reuse scenes, and it wasn't until like I got like, and, I kind of just sat with that mystery for like, this self mystery for like a long time, and like eventually I heard through word of mouth like, oh yeah, reuse scenes. I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. And then I did even more research, and everything just fit together perfectly, And it's like just getting the context through my video for myself. It was hilarious just looking at like all those years back, being like, wow, I really watched Raptor, and then years later watched Carnosaur without realizing that these two movies like were connected in some way. uh, it's pretty funny. I
Yeah,
mean, I think it was
that
funny.
is funny. Dr. Mufuni says similar experience. I mean, Dr. Mufuni didn't exactly say that. I'm just speaking for him. So, because I'm that kind of. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But that like I said, it's an interesting launch point. When I did see it for the first time, I watched all three Carnosaur movies at this point. Then I saw it. I was disappointed that it was just stock footage, but I was entertained by the new stuff that was added in and how well it just bled and blended
Mm-hmm.
together. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't be that disappointed.
Right.
And as far as the Eden formula, like I didn't realize Beekler worked on this film, and it was actually directed by yeah, it was directed by Beekler
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But you know, it was cool. I didn't realize it was the same puppet and mold from Carnosaur until like I compared the two box arts. I'm like, wait a minute, I seen this. I'm like, oh, it's the Carnosaur T-Rex, and I looked it up. Beekler. Oh, he's okay. It makes sense now. Um, the movie is interesting somehow, if you could believe it. Um, it's mostly just a movie that exists. It's something else. Shout out to the bum that got killed by the T-Rex, by the way. I thought that scene was fucking hilarious. But uh everything else is so bad. Tony Todd was like the best thing about that movie. He's a
Absolutely
phenomenal
love
actor.
Tony Todd in that movie.
Yeah, he made that movie worthwhile. I just grinned ear to ear whenever I saw him on that screen. So
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, yeah, it's the movie ever, I guess. I got a
yeah,
I got a comment in my video when it was up, and the person, this was a different person. They claimed that they had emailed Beekler before he passed away. I believe in 2019 he passed away. This person managed
yeah.
to get in contact with Beekler, and again, this comment section stuff. I don't know for sure if it's true. I don't have any proof to back it up, so just take it with a grain of salt. But this person asked about the eating formula to Beekler, and apparently Beekler responded to them saying that he was actually very disappointed with it, and it didn't come out the way he wanted it to. And honestly, here's the thing. Here's my personal take on the Eden formula. Even though this is supposed to be your interview with your opinions, but I'm hijacking it. Um,
No, I don't care. We're sharing the same brain cell. Remember that.
that's true, very true. Here's the thing. I don't think the effects in the Eden formula were great at all. I don't think
No.
that the incorporation of the puppets in in the movie was great. I don't even think I don't even think the puppet in general. Like I think that's the weakest prop they made for Carnosaur. Period. Out of all the ones they made, in my personal opinion. But you can tell that some work was being put into some of the dinosaur prop. Well, I mean, one that I know of at least in the Eden formula, because there's close-up shots of the T Rex head, and it's a unique T Rex build. It's not from anything I've
Yeah.
ever seen. It's not from any of the Carnosaur franchise, like any of the other Carnosaur movies. So a part of me thinks that this is just a case of him not having the money to do it, so he probably had to reuse the Carnosaur puppet for a lot of the scenes, because my guess is that if he had the money, he would have probably rebuilt a model and made it more sophisticated to use for full body scenes of the T Rex, because he made a pretty decent like close up headshot model. At least I'm assuming it's him. Like I'm assuming he helped out with it to some extent. Um, but then because I believe it was a sci-fi original, and I believe he didn't have the funds to work with it. He had to resort to just using the puppet again, and then using like green screens and whatnot to incorporate it into the film. That's what I believe, like personally, what I think likely happened, because if he was gonna be that disappointed in the project, my guess is that he probably had some high hopes for it to some extent. Like hopes, maybe not high hopes, but just hopes in general. Like he probably had some idea of how it was going to turn out because it was going to be his own film, and then it just didn't work out when budget issues came up, likely, because I think that's what it always comes down to with these movies. Is like, oh, they just don't have the budget to work with. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe there's a commentary track for one of the DVD releases, and John was talking in it, and he does say he was disappointed.
Wait,
Um,
really? I didn't even know that. Oh,
yeah,
now I
yeah, I
want
used
it.
to have that copy, but yeah,
Now I want it.
it's got to be out there somewhere.
If anybody
But
finds it, tell me. I will buy it.
right,
I like
but the
I've yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I do appreciate. No, you're good, man. You're good. I do appreciate the effort with the T-Rex. I thought the guy eating the roast beef sandwich, teasing him with it, and the Tyrannosaurus in that cage, like I thought that was really well done. I mean, I'm glad the guy got eaten because it was just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Karma's a bitch. But it was really cool. It was a creepy design still. I appreciated it. Um, I feel like it fell apart after the T-Rex left the facility, and then the dumb way they get to dispatch of it, like like teenagers somehow have TNT
I thought that
for
was
some,
funny.
not C4, not AR-15s or anything. Nope,
No,
just
just
TNT,
TNT, and then on top of
and they're
that,
stealing radios.
yeah. With I don't. Why would they have that on hand while they're stealing radios? That's my first question. The second is the way they introduce the TNT, because we don't actually see the TNT until the final um,
Yeah, that is true.
They
That is
just
true.
they just say it like, "Oh shit, the cops are here. Leave the TNT or leave the dynamite." They said, and that's all. That's all we get. That's the only context we get. The only context we get that there's TNT there. We do not get to see
Yeah,
that until the climax of the film.
yeah, and you see like computer generated TNT wrapped around the radios,
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
and then
Um,
that in turn leads to the best sequence of that film, and that
yeah,
is with the
the
T Rex
TNT exploding under the
exploding.
T-Rex,
Yeah.
which when it jumped, it reminded me of the jumping animation for the Allosaurus and Tyrannosaurus and Primal Rage, Diablo and Saran.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching gameplay of that, like whenever you jump up, that's what they look like, And like, oh, all right, shout out to Primal Rage. Okay, this movie sucks, but I'm like, what the hell? It's still more competent than any of those like dumb, stupid dinosaur movies like Jurassic Park or something like that, or just like just stupid,
Oh yeah.
dumb. We know they're garbage films, blah blah blah, and like then why make them? Like if
Cause
just for the cheap
money.
entertainment,
That's it, money.
yeah,
They're
it's
just
just
because
lame.
a lot of those are coming like Triassic World. Those movies made by the Asylum, they came out because they're
Ugh.
capitalizing off of like the Jurassic World franchise. It makes sense why they're made. Okay, don't.
Yeah, Age of Dinosaurs.
Age of Dinosaurs is great. Don't shit talk. That one's great. Okay, all right. Don't shit talk Age of Dinosaurs. All right, buddy. I will
Emily,
end the stream here. No, I'm just kidding.
no, Daddy, no. But to be fair, I didn't watch fucking Age of Dinosaurs. I'm just shitting on it.
I love Age. It's a meme in my fan base at this point where
All
like
right,
we
I'm
just
gonna have to watch it then.
yeah we've got yeah we'll watch it and we'll do like a live review of it.
Oh God, yeah. No, the thing is that like I was on the Asylum train for a long time until I realized like they're not the same kind of B movies we grew up with like in the Sci-Fi Channel era.
Hmm.
So like between 2000 and like 2010, I feel like there's just so many creature features like Python 1 and 2, Komodo, Curse of the Komodo, like all these, you know what I'm talking about. You see them on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shelves. Dragon Wars, all these
I
other movies.
love Dragon Wars. Holy shit, Dragon
Yeah,
Wars
it's
is so
great.
cool. I
Yeah.
have a DVD copy of it on my shelf right fucking now. I love it so much.
No, I love that movie. I really like the Riff Tracks version of it too. But yeah, no, they're just not the same quality. And like, what made those films so entertaining is like they tried their best and they came off kind of funny by accident. I think that's what makes the whole definition of it's so bad it's good is
Mm-hmm.
when they try to attempt to make a movie very like in a serious manner, but it just doesn't come out exactly the way they picture it. So it comes off unintentionally hilarious at times, or just like really, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Instead of
Yeah,
just blatantly just making pictures because
they're
it's
just like
stupid.
it's
They know it's
copies. Yeah,
stupid.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like, okay, I'm like, I don't really care about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
But yeah,
But yeah, I'm actually glad we got a chance to talk about those spin-off films. Honestly, I still hold like them like I especially like the Eden Formula, just because like it was Beekler's last movie and it has Tony Todd in it. Like I hold these guys,
yeah,
I hold these
yeah.
spin-off films like I hold them. I have a soft spot for them too, just because like okay, well they're a part of the history. Whether we like it or not, we've got to include them. So, but
Yeah, I did try to reach out for an interview to Tony Todd, and he just never responded. I forgot to tell you that.
that bastard.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding.
that that would have been epic. That would be like the best thing, the best interview, hands down. Uh, because I'm like, okay, but you got to talk like your character the whole time and threaten me every 5 minutes. Okay, no, I'm
oh,
kidding.
uh, you know what? Tony Todd can threaten me any day of the week. I'll just sit there and take
Yeah,
it.
see, there you go. Oh,
Um,
hey, Stu asked the question.
Hey,
Stu asked the
yeah!
question.
I was actually gonna bring attention to that because I saw that. All right, Joey. No, like, yeah. Answer the question. What did you think of Giraptors?
It was great. Read it. Go buy the physical edition on the website.
Okay, see,
It's great.
this dude has good taste. Chef's kiss right there, buddies. Yeah, no,
It's
absolutely.
it's fun. It's fun. It's super fun. Like it's not as schlocky as it would look. It was way more competent than what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this looks dumb. I read it. Like, no, this is great. This is pretty good.
Absolutely. Um. All right. Well, here is my next question for you. So we'll get off the spin-off films. We'll go back to the Carnosaur, like the actual Carnosaur films. So for the Carnosaur movies specifically, or I guess really in general, like it doesn't have to be just the movies, but what are your hopes for the future of the Carnosaur franchise? Like, what do you think should happen? What do you want to happen for them? Do you think there should be any continuations, adaptations, re-releases? What's your stance on all of that?
I really, I'm super happy the book got redistributed. By a really good publisher, by the way, Valancourt. Um, I'm glad that they really get that out there. I'm glad that's back in circulation because it's so important to literature in general, and just I think it's the bread and butter of how to make a good creature feature,
Mm-hmm.
you know, without condescending to the reader so much. Like, I love Stephen King's books, but there's just a lot of riffraff and a lot of really just patronizing with people's imagination with some of that stuff, with the exception of it. It is probably my favorite book by him, but a lot of big time authors just go to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Brosnan never did. He just like, I'm gonna tell it my way, and if you don't like it, well, there's other books to read. Um, and I praise him for that. Or
Absolutely, yeah.
like Richard Lehman with his Cellar series. The Cellar and the Beast House and stuff like that. Those are great splatterpunk books, by the way. Love those books. They are very fun to read. Um, it's stuff like that. So I was hoping the book would have that kind of redistribution, which it has.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see at least the first two films, if not the first one, get a 4K scan, you know, and be put out by some big label like Arrow Video or Criterion or something like that. People are like, what? The art house film library, Criterion. Look, listen, they have Armageddon on there. You're trying to just think about that one for a minute. That's a terrible movie. So I think Carnosaur deserves to be on that label. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie, but if you have a terrible movie like Armageddon, the bar is not too low for them.
Right, right.
So, but they would do a great job, and like I would love to have a commentary track, I'd love to contribute to a project like that.
That would be cool. Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
as far as a remake,
Because like
it
a
would
lot
have
of
to be practical.
yeah, a lot of
It would have
people. That's a huge request for a lot of people that I've heard is like they want a remake of Carnosaur. Not just any kind of remake though. It's less of a remake, and it's more like a readaptation of the book. They want something that's more faithful
yeah.
to the book. Do you agree with
Yeah,
that
that'd be fine.
stance or?
Yeah, no, I agree with it as long as they actually stick to the pulp and everything about the book that made the book so great. Oh, excuse me. Wow, that just came out of my fucking mouth.
Happens to me all the time, man. It's all good.
Yeah, but that I'm in agreement with that. A new adaptation of the book would be fine. I don't want to see a remake of the film. So the film is completely, to me, like untouchable. It's completely fine. You can't make another movie close like it at all.
Hmm.
You could try, and you might be able to. But I really doubt it. Like Adam Simon did such a phenomenal job with the tone and everything and the atmosphere. It's just untouchable. But you'd have to get the atmosphere really good, like the book. I want it just like the book.
Yeah.
Like you can't deviate, you can't cater, you can't familitize. Like
No,
don't make it about
exactly.
a family.
I was gonna
Like
say like make it as brutal as the book was. Like try not like
make it
don't
brutal, raw.
don't be a
Yeah.
Jurassic Park about it because like we've already got a Jurassic
No.
Park. I'm not saying that what Spielberg did was bad. I'm just saying we already have that. So let's do something
Yeah.
that is a bit more faithful to the source material in terms of its tone and what it was trying to go for initially. I agree with that stance at
Yeah.
least.
Speaking of Spielberg's, films, The Lost World was the most brutal. I mean, The Lost World is the most brutal Jurassic Park film, I think,
Mm-hmm.
besides Fallen Kingdom. I think it's more brutal than Fallen Kingdom. But Jurassic Park, I would love to see an actual adaptation in film wise of the novel of Jurassic Park, like just beat for beat. Don't take the horror stuff out, leave all the gore and everything else like that. That would be phenomenal. If they would just do it exactly the way we want it, it would be a good story. It would be a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
People would go and see it. But,
Right.
they keep doing this Hollywood dumb bullshit, and
I
it's
know.
like,
It's
all
like
right.
the more movies that come out, the more like scared they're becoming of like allowing the dinosaurs or just any of the characters to be faced with any real stakes or danger.
Yeah.
I heard at one point I heard that like apparently, the dinosaurs like there's not to be any dinosaur deaths in the future of the Jurassic franchise unless it's to each other. Like humans are not allowed to kill each other or the dinosaurs. That's what I heard. So if
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's true. It's disappointing because you look at the source material and the marketing around the first Jurassic Park, like the games. You were shooting humans, you were shooting dinosaurs, you were blowing them up in Super Nintendo. Like, come on, Sega Genesis, you had a grenade launcher, a shotgun. It's not making them sleep.
Yeah.
Just like, or the comics for crying out loud, the Raptor comic series, like that shit was brutal. Raptors fighting gorillas and ripping their throats out and stuff. I'm like, damn, that's what I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I get what you mean. But
But yeah, just Fallen Kingdom. I thought was gonna get close to that. I will say this. I guess we're segueing into this for a hot minute.
yeah, go ahead.
Um,
Say go, unload, man. Say what you
it's,
want to say
it's
about the Jurassic World franchise. Let's get the rant on. Come on,
oh
let's make this shit.
okay. All
Let's
right,
make this shit entertaining. Come on, let's do this. Let's go.
all right. Well, I wasn't gonna do this right now, but we're
Do
gonna
it.
do it right now.
Do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So fucking Jurassic World. Okay. I like the first Jurassic World for some of its stuff. It's decent. It's suspenseful. It does a good job bringing back some of that horror and terror and suspense, and probably going a little too far, but that's fine with me. It's a dinosaur movie, but just not enough gore. I need more. I like bits and pieces of Fallen Kingdom. I don't like the whole movie, but I like bits and pieces. And I'm watching Fallen Kingdom, and I noticed something. And this is not something that I found by myself. This is a collective thought process on a lot of people. Like a lot of people found this and picked it up. I'm just calling it for what it is. These are my words. I'm not speaking for any y'all. It's plagiarism. It's fucking plagiarism. Okay? Because back to the Carnosaur fucking novel. We're gonna go there now because I'm getting pissed at Jurassic
Do it.
World now.
Do it.
God damn it!
Let it out,
So
man. Let it out. Let the anger flow through you. Let it out.
and
Come on.
yeah, it's okay. But no, like okay, so at the at the end of Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, you know, it seems to me that there's so many similarities with the finale of the Carnosaur book and the finale of Fallen Kingdom. You know, in Carnosaur, Pascal sneaks into Penward's estate and his zoo, where all these dinosaurs are kept. Okay, now, and it's a mansion as well. Hmm. So in Fallen Kingdom, it's an estate with a private zoo and a mansion. Hmm. Weird, huh? Yeah, okay. So then when I don't know that one stupid character that I can't remember her name, but she should be arrested and sitting in jail for setting the dinosaurs loose, probably killing so many people in California, by the way. Not realistic movie. She's a psychopath. She needs help. Her excuse for opening the cage was deplorable, but that was similar to Lady Jane in the Carnosaur novel opening the gate to let all the dinosaurs out. Kid or not, why would you let a kid do that? And she's a clone. She doesn't count. She's not real. I mean, she's real physically, but she don't have a right to say anything. She's a copy of somebody that did have a right to say something. You know, just like the dinosaurs didn't have any rights to begin with because they were genetically modified material. But that's a whole different discussion. Um, so all these dinosaurs escape in a very similar manner and rage the wayside of the jungle and the surrounding area. In Carnosaur, the same thing happens. But the thing is that the Jurassic World writers didn't want to completely go full throttle onto the ending of Carnosaur, but they took that bit. And to me, it's just plagiarism. Or, when the Indoraptor is chasing Owen and the characters through the mansion, through a museum and everything. There's scenes in the novel that are so similar, like almost beat for beat, of a Deinonychus chasing after the Pascal and Jenny as they're trying to escape Penward's mansion because all hell is broken loose on the front. All the dinosaurs are loose and the guards are trying to take care of them and stuff, just like in Jurassic World. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much this stuff is so blatantly similar.
Mhm.
And there's even another thing in there. There's a deleted scene in Jurassic World that was never filmed technically, but there's a screenshot that always floated around. And it's about the babysitter. I fucking forget their names because it's just not memorable, you know.
Right. No, but I know what you're
Anyways,
talking about. Yeah.
but she I think I read something where she gets her arm ripped off or something, or she was supposed to, or she was supposed to be killed in a grotesque manner. Iris, yes, Iris.
Iris. Yeah.
And yeah, in the Carnosaur novel, there's a similar scene. Same type of character. The butler of the mansion gets his arm torn off, and he's seeking help from the main character. He's like, "Help me, help me!" And then he dies. Because the Deinonychus finishes him off. But it's a similar beat for beat like that, and I think the reason why they cut it is because maybe it's like, oh, maybe people realize we're actually plagiarizing. It was mostly cut for time frame or whatever. I don't think they cared about plagiarizing. See, that's my point though, is why another reason why I'm making this book is not to attack Universal or Jurassic World or anything, even though I kind of do in it, and I am right now. But they I feel like Jurassic Park has had such a monopoly on everything dinosaur. Like unless it's Jurassic Park, it's just shit. It's just inferior in every way. And the only thing that's ever come close to topping Jurassic Park, and it has objectively for many different things, but the mainstream media doesn't see it that way because Jurassic Park made more money. Um, everything's based on money, but objectively, a lot of people have agreed that Carnosaur, the movies, are better than all the Jurassic World, sequels, and even some of the Jurassic Park sequels, at least.
Hmm.
That much is fair.
Yeah.
It's the only franchise that is literally second place to Jurassic Park. If you type in dinosaur movies in the 90s, the first two results, well, there's probably more than that, but like Prehysteria, but that don't fucking count. No one remembers that shit. But
Me who remembers it.
but it's Carnosaur. It's literally Carnosaur in Jurassic Park, and
Hmm.
it goes back into that narrative like, oh, it's just the ripoff. And yeah, technically Jurassic Park was made at its time. I mean, Carnosaur was made at its specific time frame to cash in on Jurassic Park. He could have made the movie sooner because he had the rights for the book already, but he knew Jurassic Park was coming. And Roger's a very smart businessman. He's very smart. Um, that was a good move on his part. But
Hmm.
it's always going to be looked at as a ripoff. And this book is going to dispel that because it's not a ripoff. There's a lot of information in there that's factual that goes to show that all this stuff was in motion way before even Jurassic Park the ride came out.
Right.
You know, so it just that's as far as the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom connection to Carnosaur. You know, I unabashedly like Fallen Kingdom because of those inclusions, unfortunately, because I'm like, this is probably the close I'll get
Yeah,
to see
exactly. That's
the
what it.
Carnosaur novel.
Exactly. That's what it
You
comes
know,
down to. Is because
yeah,
you like it because it's not. I think a part of it is not even just like that, but it's also just the fact that we're gonna get it to that up to that quality of budget and everything. Because
right, yeah, and it was
unfortunately,
pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Carnosaur as a whole, the entirety of the franchise was burdened with, just having low budgets and not having the the support, the financial support to create something that is as good as Jurassic Park in any way. Which honestly, it would be cool if they did something with it nowadays with like a much bigger budget, the things that they
And
could
the thing
show
is,
off.
yeah, and the thing is too is like I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. You know, I'm just so shocked. you know.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this book gets into circulation, gets into the mainstream a little bit more,
Hmm.
you know. Um, I'm going to put the weight on you folks in the chat, support the project or at least share it, and let people know that it's going to be for sale soon. And
Actually, yeah. Did you want to talk about your book for a little bit in terms of like, maybe any exclusive information, like when it's going up or like how much
oh
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be?
I'll finish my tangent attacks against Jurassic World real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah,
So
take your
moving on.
time.
So Jurassic World didn't stop with their bullshit when it comes to plagiarism. They they ripped off Carnosaur enough. I'm like, okay, let's pick on something else. So, Dino Crisis. Love those games, especially the second one. I think it's fun. Do you remember when you're playing that game at the end of that there's a Giganotosaurus?
I've never played the games,
Okay,
but I know what you're talking about. I'm not.
just watch the ending.
Yeah, yeah,
Just watch the ending.
yeah.
Okay, so you're playing as Regina and Dylan respectively, and there's this scaffolding sort of platform that you got to run up playing as Regina, and it's all yellow, right? Okay, so that was a really nice set piece, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Hmm.
Jurassic World Dominion, they have a Giganotosaurus all of a sudden for some reason.
The Giganotosaurus. Yeah.
Yeah, the Giga. Fucking sorry, Giga. I'm the Giga Chad, so of course I'm gonna fuck everything up.
No, I mean, I was
Um,
gonna say however you want, but the right way is Giganotosaurus. Continue.
oh, I want to say it the right way. I don't want to be wrong with my
That's true.
book and my,
Very true.
but
Very true. Yeah, Giganotosaurus. I don't even know if that's the right way of saying it. That's the way I've always said it, and nobody's gonna correct me on that. Um,
yeah, because all we have to do is just turn off the chat, and we don't have
yeah,
anyone disagreeing with us. So
exactly. Gambit. Anyways, go ahead. Continue with your
Gambit.
continue with your Dino Crisis rant.
Yeah, just gotta say your chat's awesome. Your
Yeah.
moderator's awesome. This is great. You got a great community. This is freaking amazing. But
I'm glad you enjoy
great
them.
community.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, they're great.
See, you guys, I like
Um,
you. You guys made me look cool in front of the author. I'm happy. I'm proud of you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
ass. Ass.
Proceeds to insult
It's
me.
like that's awesome. I knew I was about to say that. Like as soon as I leave, they're just gonna start shitting on you.
Yeah,
But
that's what they typically do.
but so the Jurassic World Dominion, the one only cool thing at the end of it, all the main characters are running up a yellow scaffolding while a Giga is trying to kill them. Weird. That looks familiar. Why did they pull that? Oh, because it was fucking cool and something else that wasn't theirs. The thing is, it's the whole Call of Duty argument. Call of Duty, here's another tangent, by the way. Call of Duty was the trend leader. They led the trends forever until recently. Same with Jurassic Park. They were the leading trend of the dinosaur thing. Just like Call of Duty is leading trend of you know, everything gaming. You know, and there's a certain point in those franchises periods to where things shifted and now they're chasing trends, you know, to make their content interesting, which they both have failed miserably and deservedly so, because money is so good. I hope it tastes good and I hope it runs out. And yeah, that's why David Kep is probably brought back on for the Jurassic Park series. Like,
For real.
get an actual writer in there. Like, I'm not trying to. I'm gonna say something that might be slightly controversial, but I want everyone to hear me out. It's nothing terrible or that's gonna get me canceled. I hope not. But the writer strike, as terrible it is for the good writers, which is very few. Boo-hoo, because there's a lot of terrible writers in Hollywood, okay? All your writers fucking suck. I'm sorry, but fuck you. Your movies are terrible, your writing's terrible. Go fuck yourself. Go work a regular job like everyone else has to, like we all can't make everything great in this world, like it whatever, when.
I don't
Go
know.
cry about it.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day,
just
it's a matter of them making because it's like making art. You want to be able to get paid
yeah,
for the hard work you put out. And to them, it might be shit to us. I think it comes from a subjective standpoint. It's all shit to us, 100%.
Totally is.
Even, but to them, I feel like it's to them they might look at it a bit differently. They might look at it as like, well, we're working together. We think it's okay, and it could just be them working with what they have. Because
yeah, that's the thing.
I feel like if they're given full freedom, they could. It's probably one of those cases where they're given full freedom. They'll probably come up with something that's actually good, but they're so bogged down with all these regulations and all these fucking corporate people meddling with their shit. I think that I think that's just what it comes down to. So I think I get your frustrations though. Sometimes you just want to be like, well, fuck you. You guys are shit anyways. I get that sentiment. But at the same time, I feel like it's not that black and white,
That is fair. That is fair. I'm just saying, there's some of them out there that are just hacks that deserve, go
True.
get
Yeah.
a different job because you're not really good at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just because you're making a company money doesn't mean you're doing a good job. There's that sounds really counterintuitive. I'm like, money's good though, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, but do you fucking remember it? Do you go back and actually watch the thing? No, I didn't think so. That's my point. It's like, no, they just make forgettable stuff that they call good and they might agree collectively. But you're right. Some corporate assholes calling the shots and making the decisions. And the thing is, it's a lot of these corporate assholes that make the decisions actually writing this stuff, and they're the ones that complaining that they're not getting paid a writer's payout. I'm like, but you're not a writer.
See, that's frustrating. That's definitely frustrating because there's probably actual writers there that are getting fucked over that have actually created something that's worth looking over. Plus then there's the process of whatever they write. Most of it is probably going to end up getting trashed anyways because the movie process, everything changes so much So
Yeah.
for me, I think it's just a matter of them working with what they have, which can be a pain in the ass because it's clear not everybody sees. Like in the movie industry, if I've learned anything just from researching these different movies, um, no, like hardly anybody is on the same page with it, and like especially because the movies I cover on my channel, they're like really bad films, and the reason why they're bad films is because um, people aren't on the same page with each other. They're not seeing eye to eye. They're not finding a middle ground. They want different things out of the picture. So
Right.
on both sides, they're just working with what they have, and
Right.
oftentimes that results in a bad movie. That doesn't result in a really good one because of the
Yeah, and
conflicts.
it's sad.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. And it's like at this point, should this be released? I'm like, well, sure, because everyone needs a paycheck. We all continue to do our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. It's entirely subjective. Whatever I say does not translate or speak for anybody.
Right.
You don't have to agree on my views. You don't have to agree on anything I say. You could totally hate me for my views and stuff. That's completely fine. I won't treat you any less. You know, I'll treat you like a human with respect and dignity. But, like, yeah, it's just entirely subjective.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, so Jurassic World's done. Flush that crap. Because at least I'm getting a general consensus. Like a lot of people are, in the chat, they're like, they were okay. I think that's a general consensus is
Yeah.
that they were
Well,
okay.
yeah.
But they're
Is
not.
that they're okay as like dumb fun movies? I think that's like
Yeah,
what people have
but they're
put
not
forth.
exactly what they should have been or could have been. Yeah, yeah. Where's the dinosaur human hybrids? When I was a kid, I hated that idea when those Jurassic Park 4 leaks came out. But
Mm-hmm.
as I grew older, I'm like, that would have been actually kind of interesting.
It's too pulpy. I think. I think people are not.
It is too pulpy for Jurassic Park,
Yeah, I
but
think people are just too used to the quote unquote grounded nature of Jurassic Park. I say quote unquote because that's how it started, but how it's going. A
yeah,
lot of the stuff that they're introducing now and what they're trying to say, it doesn't always feel grounded in reality. It's kind of weird sometimes when you look at,
that is true.
you know. So it's
Yeah,
like, man, at that
Camp
point,
Cretaceous
yeah,
especially.
Camp Cretaceous. See, I'm glad we see eye to eye on that. I fucking hate that show.
It's something. I don't like it. I thought I liked some parts of it until it just took a really bizarre, weird, dumbass turn. I'm like, okay, like I'm not watching this anymore. Nope. I tried. I tried. I didn't just say, oh shit, but I tried, and I hate myself. And I took a hot shower and with bleach, and I brushed my teeth with that bleach. I had to go to the hospital for 3 days, and I'm back, and I'm all right. I'm kidding. I didn't do any of that. I'm a
No.
bullshit artist. But yeah. So yeah. Next question, maybe. Are there still questions?
I
I
have
mean,
I
I'm not.
have a couple more. We've
All right,
got
sweet.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah no but yeah, that was a cool little tangent. Actually, we're kind of near the end for the questions here. Like, I guess one question that I've been meaning to ask you actually, but I haven't. Um, what's what's next after the book? What's your next step? Do you think you're going to work on like another project in the same to the same extent as Carnosaur, or do you think this will be just like your one and only project in terms of
I'm on the
writing?
fence with that. Yeah. As far as the nonfiction stuff, I'm on the fence with that because, as good as the Carnosaur films are, at least the first two,
Mm-hmm.
just speaking objectively at this point, because the third one is just, I wouldn't recommend it for a first time viewer, but if you want a good laugh and just want something fun to watch, it's good. But watch the first two first, at least. Um, there's films like Watchers that absolutely have no information. Like, you think Jurassic, shit. Carnosaur 2 and 3 are obscure, which they are. But good luck trying to find anything on Watchers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's just nothing. And the thing is that Dean Koontz is one of the biggest authors in the world. Like, he's bigger than Stephen fucking King. Like Stephen King's big,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but Dean is even more well liked and well known, you know, and there's just nothing about probably his most beloved book. Like this is a film adaptation of that book,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And there's four film adaptations of that book, by the way. And I would just love to uncover all that. But I mean, if I find enough stuff, I might just turn it into a book, you know.
Mm-hmm.
John LeMay said, you know, because he said he was proud of the Carnosaur book, that he wouldn't mind throwing it under his label, you know, Bicep Books. And I'm like, oh shit,
That would be
yeah,
cool.
that'd be great. Yeah, and he did. So it's technically under his you know, his film library, his book library, but I get all the distribution and the profit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this is crazy. He's like, you might want to consider coming up with your own if you plan to write more books, which you probably should. You know, so in
Yeah, I
this
mean,
new book,
yeah, I
you know,
I think you should. Like, you're a
oh,
good archivist in terms of, in terms of the
thank you.
passion. Like, you've gone above and beyond to reach out to people and get a bunch of information that nobody's bothered to even look for before. I mean, like,
Yeah, no, it's just strange too because it's such a popular book and you know popular author. I feel like it would be more elevated than Carnosaur. Even the second Watchers film got a Blu-ray, you know, released like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. So I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, I figured that book would not just be the Watchers films, but probably just some other obscure New Horizons creature features in there. I'm just gonna keep it strictly just creature features. So there's a remake of The Wasp Woman, which I saw when I was a kid, and me and my sister laughed our asses off at it,
mm-hmm.
which also is directed by Jim Wynorski, I believe,
And
and
it
it's
features
a
the actress from
Skinemax, yeah.
yeah, it features the actress from what is it? What's her name? Her fucking God, I forget her name. I just know she was in Raptor. She played Barbara.
Oh yeah, Melissa Berzel or
Yeah,
Rocky.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I watched the trailer the other day. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she's in that movie. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I'd want to cover that movie in there as well, and maybe some other ones that are so obscure. And probably as far as the, you know, nonfiction stuff, I'll probably leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe eventually I might do like a 1990s like video game dinosaur era book, you know, that covers like the
That would
Turok
be
games,
cool. That would
Primal
be really
Rage,
cool. Yeah.
Dino Rex, you know, Dino Crisis, all these other games.
Oh, Dino Rex was so fun
Um,
to cover. That would actually be a really good book.
yeah,
That'd be fun to look through. I would help
yeah.
you with
So
that project. I'd definitely be of service for you for that one.
right.
Yeah.
Well, if I consider doing it in the future, I'll definitely reach out. But
Hell yeah.
and currently I'm still writing on my full-fledged novel,
Oh
fictional novel.
yeah. Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
Yeah,
Do you plan on doing
you know,
anything with that in the future?
yeah, like it's about 60% done at this point. There's still a lot I want to add in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was always mesmerized by stories that were metaphors, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
going back to the kaiju stuff, you know, this my book has a kaiju influence even though it doesn't have any kaiju in it. So, sorry, fans of kaiju, but I don't have giant monsters in my book. It has something else which is really great. But it's a metaphor for anxiety. Um, this
I
creature
see.
in this headspace pretty much like I'll be able to give more details on it later when I have a clear mind of what exactly I'm trying to describe with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a metaphor story, and it's turned out pretty good. But I was always mesmerized by metaphor stories, like in GMK. You know, like well, maybe that's not a metaphor. No, that is a metaphor film. It's the collective souls of World War II,
Yeah. Yeah.
returning as Godzilla. You know, to wage war and remind Japan of their folly. You know,
Right.
I thought that was such a brilliant metaphor. Or the first film literally being the nuclear bomb going through, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Tokyo and stuff like that. It
Oh
never
yeah.
went
There.
through Tokyo, obviously, but
Right.
you know,
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're totally right with all that because, I mean, even though earlier I did say that Godzilla did have like it started off seriously, but like slowly but surely became more like goofy and cartoony almost. It definitely had its moments of trying to spread a certain message, like being a metaphor of something. So
Yeah,
I get
it
what you
was not
mean.
just a yeah, like I love creature features just for the fuck of it, but I love it when a creature feature has something to say.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when a movie has something to say. Those are the movies that I find most amusing, most entertaining. And I'm noticing Gamut's comment, Left 4 Dead 2 flashbacks. Hell yeah.
We've been
That game
playing,
is
yeah.
insanely You've been
Ga-
playing it? Dude,
Gambit is a close friend of mine,
we need
and
to all play it.
she yeah, we will. Fuck it. Now that I know
Yeah.
that you're into it, Gambit would be more than happy because Gambit got it for me the other
Dude,
day, and she's like, "We gotta play
the
something else."
mods. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The mods are just everything.
I've been getting fucking molested by jockeys, but like aside from that, it's been funny.
Yeah, the amount of mods you could do in that game is awesome. And you know what's great too? This is a tangent. If you're familiar with the Resident Evil games, somebody did God's work and literally ported the first three games, the PlayStation versions, like in their entirety, but Left 4 Dead 2 style, and it could be done with four players, and like it plays just like the game. Obviously, there's like not special infected or tanks in that game, but they're almost like that.
Mhm.
They're almost like that. And they have the music and everything. It's so good. That would be so fun to play. I think we should all try out those mods. But yeah, definitely some whatever we could really screw with the mods in Left 4 Dead. Like they're so
Yeah,
good.
we can
Like
try to
that
figure something out.
that
Yeah.
game makes me laugh so hard, dude. Like
I've been having
it's
fun
so
with it.
fucking
Yeah,
funny.
it's a cool
It's
game. I
great.
love it. I've never played it before. Like literally
Oh
the
yeah,
other day
dude.
when I got it, when Gambit gifted it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" She's like, "We're gonna play something else other than fucking bean battles or where the fuck you play." It's all the dumb shit that I find on Steam.
Yeah, yeah. I've been digging through some of Steam's library and I'm like, okay, Quake 2, Turok, what else? Yeah, no, I've been playing odd games for years. I really love those build engine games like Duke Nukem and Blood and Ion Fury and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
yeah, you can turn the tank into Shrek. That's fucking
That sounds
hilarious. Or
hilarious. Let's do that. Yeah.
or Donkey Kong into the tank, which is hilarious. It gets funnier, or like Homer Simpson into the Charger, or
That's
like
funny.
Yoshi as a smoker and a hunter as like Cookie Monster or something. It's great. It's so, it's
Ah,
so
excuse me.
fucking funny. So good.
That's funny. No, I'm down for
But
that
yeah,
though. That sounds like a
yeah,
stream worthy like fucking content right there.
yeah. No, we should. I would be down for game streaming. That'd be a
Let's.
funny let's play.
I'm down too. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. I don't have the recording software, but I'll just
I
be the
don't worry.
walking soundboard.
Yeah, you'll be my source of entertainment. I'll record it.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be great. That'd be so fucking funny. Let's do it.
I'm
But
down.
yeah,
Of course, Gambit, you can
fuck
come.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. It's Left 4 Dead. I mean, it's not Left for 2.
Okay, buddy.
I'm just kidding. I'm being a bitch. Well, I mean, technically it says Left 4 Dead, so online when I'd be playing with people, I'd shoot them all and get on the boat. So they'd be trying to vote kick me like, why'd you do that, troll? And I'm like, it says Left 4 Dead, or I'd
That's
say things like,
true. You're not
I thought you were
wrong.
a deer. I was hungry. I had to hunt. You're the only thing that wasn't dead.
I like deer offs. Left for Dead 2, more like Left for D's nuts. Oh my god. Deer offs, you're my favorite commenter ever. You're awesome. Based deer offs.
Left for D's nuts. Somebody
Yeah.
actually did that to me. They teabagged my dead body.
Damn
So
it.
then somebody revived me, and I started shooting at them. It was a three-way war. It was like zombies versus me versus them. It was so good.
Oh my god. Gambit, I shoot you, but I'm still learning the game. All right, I'm a bad shot. Shut up. And I think you look pretty foul. You look like a zombie sometimes.
Oh, ouch! Wow, shots fucking fired. TNT thrown. TNT that
just
teenagers
kidding. Just
had to
kidding.
steal
Just
radios.
kidding.
Fuck! Holy shit, man!
Oh, man.
That was a rifle shot.
Hell yeah.
I felt that. Yeah, headshot.
Anyways.
That's not what he said yesterday.
Shut the
This
fuck
stream's
up.
awesome.
Yeah, this is no. See, I'm telling you, we just. They're trolls. They troll me every fucking stream. Okay, this is how it
It's
is.
so good. It's so good. No, you work well with the chat.
Yeah, no, literally, like, to everybody in chat, like, before we started this stream, I was telling Joseph, like, don't get too nervous if there's, like, some weirdos in the comments and if they say something. Like, I was giving him all these warnings, and then I realized, wait, he has nothing to worry about, because these motherfuckers literally come after me, not the other person.
Yeah. I'm literally fucking one of them. A literal troll. Okay, folks, that's what I do in video games when I'm just not having fun anymore. I troll, okay? You don't know how many times I've been shot at and kicked out of Counter-Strike, alright? So...
Fucking nerd. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm a big fucking nerd. But, yeah. So, yeah, I will definitely, like, give you my contact information for the Steam stuff after this in the Discord.
Absolutely. So. We'll definitely do something. As
yeah.
far as this goes, what were we doing? Oh yeah, Carnosaur.
Questions, yeah, Carnosaur.
Yeah. Actually, I was just gonna say that's it. That's all my questions for you.
Look like I can play Counter-Strike? I mean, Left 4 Dead technically is Counter-Strike. It's the same stuff, really. Sort of.
Counter-Strike
kinda.
These nuts.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Nuts. Haha. Boobies. Haha.
Oh my god. Alright, this has all been cringe. Actually, I'm going to take this time to read all the super chats because now I'm done asking questions.
Oh, yeah.
One of the super chats was from Super King Ghidorah. He donated $5. Thank you, Ghidorah. I appreciate that. I'm not even sure if you're still in the chat, but if you are, thank you very much. He says, Diego, I renounce Spinoferis. Fuck you, Ghidorah. Spinoferis is here to stay. But thank you for the $5. Oh, and the next one is also from Gambit. She donated $2 to say stroke tip. Stroke the tip? Is that what you're saying? That's very foul. No, she was making fun of the fact that we couldn't fucking speak because we had a stroke. We kept having a stroke mid sentence. But Gambit, come on, that message totally sounds like you're trying to say, "Oh, stroke the tip" or something.
So she didn't say stroke the tip. Oh, I got excited for nothing. What the fuck? Now I really will have a stroke. Just kidding. Don't heart. Don't give up on me.
I'm not sorry. Yeah, whatever, Gambit. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those were the super chats. Didn't get too much, but that's fine. Actually, that's probably a good thing because the super chats can get a little fucking overwhelming sometimes. So.
All that money flowing in, like, oh man.
It's just all the shit they want me to read out. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love money. You give me all the money. Just like stop trying to get me to read your dumb shit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care about what you have to say. Just give me the money. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm a corporate overlord. I don't give a shit. Give me.
Well, I'm just trying to. That's my cosplay of Universal.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, we should all pretend to be Universal execs.
Well, guys.
There's a cocaine. I don't.
Man, a cocaine stream would go nuts. Anyways,
oh my god.
I think that's the stream. I think we got.
It went from funny to the cringe, the funny, the cringe.
It was all cringe. Let's be completely.
It didn't bother me at all. I don't. Yeah, it's all pure AIDS. This is literally what AIDS looks like.
Oh my fucking god, Gambit! You're literally funding this stream. Thank you, Gambit, for the $5 you smell. See what I mean? See, this is the stuff I have to fucking read out.
Man,
I don't even want your
that
money.
insult actually hurts.
Yeah. That insult hurts because I showered this morning, okay, bitch? No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I did shower, but I'm kidding on the you know what? No, you're a bitch. Anyways, Diego Coke stream. Such is a Diego cycle. Diego Goke. Okay. All right. Diego, you know. Oh, also, you know what? You know what? Fuck yeah, I'm gonna mention it now that I'm shilling. We have memberships now on the channel. It's literally $1 a month. For $1 a month, you get loyalty badges and you get fucking exclusive emotes that you can use to put in chat that you purchase those emotes because that's cool, I guess. Um, but the emotes, they include the Yi dinosaur meme, because obviously, why would I not include that? They include Crackhead Rex. They include Killful, the saying from, you know, the childhood saying, from my book that I wrote back when I was like 8. And then I also included, and for fuck's sake, Gambit, of course. Thank you for joining, Gambit.
It was an example, by the way.
I appreciate it. What else? Oh yeah, and then there's one of my childhood drawings. It's like a little troglodyte thing. I don't fucking know what it is. I'm gonna be honest. Oh hey Ghidorah, I'm glad you're still here. But yeah, $1 a month, you can get that. Oh, and the loyalty badges. I was really proud when I thought of the idea for the loyalty badges. So the way the loyalty badges work is that if you're they're coded by like how long you're a member. So the way I did it was I made it on T-Rex, T-Rex and dinosaur movies. So right now, Gambit subscribed to the membership, as you can see. She has the 65 T-Rex badge. So the longer you're a member, you'll rank down to being older in dinosaur T-Rex movie years, technically. So for 1 month, you know, you get the 65 T-Rex. For 2 months, you get the V-Rex from King Kong. And then it goes down, you know, in chronological order. The last one, I believe, is 1918's The Ghost of Slumber Mountain's T-Rex. But you know what I mean.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I like what I did with the loyalty badges. So if you want to be an old ass T-Rex movie dinosaur thing, yeah, go ahead and subscribe. I guess be subscribed for fucking 2 years. I guess because I think that's like the limit you need to have that.
Yeah. Pay for our stroke recovery.
I don't have a Rexy.
Possible lawsuit.
For real.
No,
Sorry,
kidding.
Ghidorah, I don't have Rexy. We're not a... You know what? No. I purposely made it so I didn't have Rexy because I'm tired of seeing Jurassic Park everywhere. All of them are non-Jurassic Park T-Rexes, okay?
Thank God.
And now we
You
just
know,
have
how many
Gambit
awesome
streaming.
YouTube channels? How many awesome YouTube channels do you see like this one? I mean, seriously, chat.
Oh, you're talking
Seriously,
about my
how many-
channel? This channel is crazy. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's great. I mean, have you seen the other fucking channels? Are you serious?
They're not. I mean, they're not bad. They're just, you know, it's mainly just people
There's
talking about
something.
Jurassic Park. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, what a life. No offense to all Jurassic Park
Man.
fans. Joey's being a bitch.
Joey's just going. He's just having no chill with anybody
He's-
today.
He's like, you like Jurassic World? Well, guess what? I'm gonna shove the Jurassic World claw up your fucking ass. Going all angry video game nerd on you. Okay.
But yeah, I'm not sure if I said it earlier, but thank you, Gambit, for becoming a member. I appreciate you always supporting the channel. But absolutely, this is hilarious. This has been very funny. This very funny stream.
Yes, if I'm allowed to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
We should totally come back and talk about Godzilla
Oh yeah.
and other giant monsters and dinosaur films. Fuck it, we'll talk about everything.
Fuck it, yeah. We'll talk about whatever. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, of course, man. This has been really fun. I'm definitely gonna we definitely got to do something else like this again. We'll probably do like gaming streams too if you're down for that. Just the idea of
Oh
like
hell yeah, dude!
playing Left 4
that'd
Dead
be
on stream sounds
absolutely
crazy.
Me, you, and Gambit with a bot. We'll try to keep the bot alive
I
for as long as possible.
I
But
end up just
I
shooting the
can't-
bots
yeah.
down because like I just like
they slow us
funny.
down. Yeah, fuck them.
They don't help out at all.
We thought they were a deer
Oh,
and we were hungry.
Yeah, for real.
I didn't see any fucking food in Left 4 Dead. Did you see any fucking food? I didn't think so. We gotta eat something.
No, just a bunch of drugs like pills and syringes.
Oh yeah, like eat all the pills, eat them. Save none for the zombies. They got enough problems.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, thank you for coming on the stream. By the way, this has been really fun. Just
Yeah.
talking about Carnosaur and just dicking around, just live in front of
Oh
everybody.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't give a shit if they don't if they don't see me dicking around, then that there's Pornhub.
And that is what's gonna get us canceled. No, I'm just kidding.
I just wanted to hear the dead silence, and I got my reaction. I'm happy. I told you I'm a troll, but yeah, no, I was happy to be on. Thank you for having me on.
Of
We're gonna
course,
do
man.
this
This has
again
been
for
really
sure.
fun. Yeah, definitely gotta do this again. But I think that's
And
gonna.
thanks for all the folks that came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Thank you for everybody for watching this. This was definitely new for me to do. So the fact that we got the turnout that we did, it's actually really cool, and I'm glad that I would definitely like to do more interviews in the future. Actually, since that
Oh yeah.
actually what, I'll talk to you about it afterwards. I won't put it on stream just in case it doesn't work out. Um,
Oh, yeah, then you're good. Greasy pulsating frog.
oh yeah, that's my IRL friend. He tunes into the stream like all the time.
It's awesome.
How's it
It's
going
like there's two
today,
of the same man. You know what, Gambit? Just get another girl on here, and it'll be all right. It'll be balanced out.
Joe? Oh god, thank you guys for joining the stream. Thank you, Joseph, for being a part of the stream. And I
Yeah,
think we're
thanks,
gonna,
man.
yeah, of course. I think that's where we're gonna end it. Actually, real quick before I end it, tell them when you think the books are released, and
Oh
just
yeah, duh.
all
Shit,
those,
fuck.
yeah. Talk to them about like just everything that you want to in terms of what you want them to know about your book.
The important stuff, yes. So, this is the most unprofessional you'll ever
I
hear me
know.
on social media. I could totally
Literally,
fool you.
the whole
But
basis of this stream.
I fucked it up. Yeah.
No, you're
It's so
totally
good.
fine, man.
No, like okay, yeah. So I'm hoping to have the book out by April 12th. If Ted Haynes follows through and gets back to me on Monday, and if Simon gets back to me next week, I could have it out by the 12th. Hopefully sooner. I will announce it. Um, Amazon publishing requires like 60 days out. So like, all right, thanks, Amazon. Why does it matter? You're the one making some money off of my product, but whatever. Um, yeah, so that's when it's gonna come out, and the price I think is pretty reasonable. Because me and John LeMay were talking about that, and you just give me some guidelines. Uh, 14.99.
Yeah, that's
14.99
honestly
for
considering how
nearly
much like Jurassic Park charges their film books. That's extremely affordable.
like yeah, like 45, $50. Yeah, no. I want this stuff to be read by people in this lifetime. And I want people to be able to afford and enjoy this stuff. I mean, yeah, I put a lot of work into all the work for it.
Hmm.
And you contribute to the book quite a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people contributed to this book, by the way. There's a lot of people that signed on to this. Brandon Tenold has a few things to say, a few columns in this book, as well as Dino Diego.
Oh yeah,
And
I don't even think they know that. I don't think I ever told them that. But yeah, guys, believe it or not, I have a writing piece in this book. I'm really happy about that, and I'm really excited.
oh, Gambit, you're incredible. You're incredible. I
Oh,
mean, you
my
all are incredible.
apologies
Thanks for
for few Discord members.
that is incredibly generous.
Oh yeah, Gambit. I've been keeping Gambit up to date with pretty much everything because they're like a really close friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see how the book turns out. I love film books in general, so I'm excited that there's going to be a Carnosaur one.
Yeah, and I'm just surprised there hasn't been one. That's another reason why this push happened. Like there just wasn't one. I'm like, what? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Hold my water, because I don't drink. But because I'm such a bitch. But
I'll drink it for you.
no, I occasionally get baked.
I like getting drunk. See, we're
Yeah,
see. This is why we only have one brain cell to work with.
it's true. You drink it away, and I get so clouded up in the sky. I meet John Carpenter up there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more people coming in. What's up, fellas? Well,
Oh yeah, that's my other mod.
the end the end of the stream. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, we're ending the stream. Oh god, but What are we doing? I've been saying like
We're trying to close
I know.
this.
I've been literally saying like, man, I guess that's the end of the stream for like the last 15 minutes. All
Yeah,
right.
Gambit, you definitely share that stuff with me. Send it to Diego, and I'm pretty sure he'll share it
Yeah,
with me. But yeah,
I'll create a group for us or something. But
hell yeah.
also, if you guys want any more updates on the book regarding Carnosaur, or just you want to follow Joseph on any kind of platform just to see how he's doing, he's got Twitter. I actually have it linked in my description below of this stream. And of course, Wob has to donate right as I'm doing this. Thank you, Wob, for the $2. By the way, I like this guy. Can we be friends?
Yeah, totally. Like if you want to know what I'm doing from day to day, sometimes I post frequently on Twitter. Sometimes I just ignore it, because I'm such good at this stuff. But it sounds like I'll be pretty frequent here, and that's fine with me.
Hey, I'm down.
For these
Yeah.
streams and stuff. Yeah, between Left 4 Dead streams and talking about giant monsters and Godzilla and other kinds of bullshit.
Hell yeah, I do. I want to start doing like more chatting streams. So like that'll be great for
That's
content.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, is just having like people on board talking about like dumb movie shit.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I'd love that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
But-
we should make a podcast.
No,
We could do it on YouTube. There we go. We could just do it. YouTube
a live
streams
podcast
the
every
podcast.
week.
Yeah. I mean, you make money. You'd make money. It'd be better than a regular podcast, it's not easy to hide because, like, when I tried to destroy my Carnosaur podcast, I'm not giving out links.
Dude.
It'll be a treasure trove. It'll be a treasure trove. You got to find it.
Dude,
I'll give you links, Diego.
Oh hell yeah! I get the cheats. Hell yeah.
But I gotta find them and remember them first.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Wob. Thank you for another $2. What else? I was gonna add to that. Actually. I was gonna be like, this is gonna be the updated version to your old fucking what's that fucking thing called? Carnosaur podcast, the Carnicast.
Yeah, the Carnicast.
The Carnicast.
Yeah, maybe we'll set up something special for maybe Patreons to have like a full riff commentary on the first Carnosaur or something.
We could do that.
We could do that.
sounds
We'll just
funny.
write some lines, come up with some really great jokes, and we'll do a riff track version of it, and people can come see it. And
Yeah, definitely. Gambit, you donated you donated to Super Chat 20 times. God, you loser, you simp.
Oh
I'm
my-
just kidding. Thank you so much for the $5. I
What?
appreciate it.
Ba-boom!
These guys are extremely supportive, and it makes me
They're awesome.
irrationally angry at them because they need to stop throwing their money at me. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everybody who donated. I appreciate it. But I really
Cheers. Thanks for coming out.
yeah.
We will
I
shut down
really
the stream.
need to stop the stream. Stop! Damn it! Another $2. I
support the doofuses here.
Thank you, Wob. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $2. I support the doofuses here. Okay, I'm ending the stream. Thank you guys for all the donations. Thank you, Joey, for coming on. I hate you all. This sucks. Thank you. Goodbye.
They're all gonna die.
Yeah, fuck this. Bye.
Bye.